Welcome everyone to another session of the Half-Rate Heroes Adventure. We rejoin the group that are adventuring through this custom homebrew adventure within the Forgotten Realms. Our heroes are within the city of Everland, over by the Silver Marches area, just to the east of the Evermoors. In the city, to date, the party have been learning about this destabilization of the inner planes. They've already experienced traveling to the Feywild, and they saw witness to shadow beasts creeping through tiny escapes into the material plane back when they were over by Neverwinter. However, last week, as they were visiting the city of Everland and had a wonderful shopping trip within an underground tavern, literally underground, we had two of our party, Kale and Ali. They were on their way to a bookstore when they were stopped rudely by a young man begging for help. Apparently his house was haunted. He kept hearing screams whenever there was no light in his house. They managed to discover that this young man's house has a fireplace in the front that hasn't been used in a very long time. And when a shadow is allowed to cross over the fireplace, it becomes a portal to the Shadowfell. So, straight away, get all the candles they can. They get a lantern. They put a lantern right in front of it. This young man is not allowed to put out any of the light. Let's keep that Shadowfell entrance closed for now while the party deal with it. While they were doing their Ghostbuster thing, investigating more of a Scooby-Doo-like situation, investigating the haunted house, on the other side of the city, we had Wampum, Nos, and Lafcadio outside training. Nos defeated Lafcadio in hand-to-hand combat, and now we rejoin the adventure. That evening, Lafcadio and Nos are a little bit wounded, so maybe going into the Shadowfell right now would be a dangerous idea, but the group have gotten together. Everyone to this point, I believe, understands that the house has a portal to the Shadowfell that is currently being hidden by the light. What do you guys want to do?
So the last thing that happened was Kale woke Lafcadio up with some hit points and a healing word.
Yep.
So Lafcadio wakes up. He's like, "My nets! Tell me you brought my nets."
Did you guys bring his nets?
No, because I think Nos destroyed them.
Where are we? I have to go get my nets.
I'm sure we can find you new nets. Were those special nets, or were they just nets?
They're not special nets, but I have a feeling that if I ever lose them, it's going to be pretty hard to replace them.
So what you're saying is they're special to you?
Sure, mate. We can say that.
Lafcadio, why don't you rest up? It's my fault that they got left back up there. I can go run and get them. I remember where I left them.
Well, while you were gone, we found a haunted house.
Well, that sounds like something that we should check out.
Maybe in the morning. So, I need to pick up some ruby dust from somewhere at some point, and I think all the stores are closed. Or something, because you said it was out of character. Tio, you said it was late in the day or something. There's some reason I couldn't find it.
Yeah, you were... Actually, no, this day was actually fairly early. I mean, you guys woke up, and straight away, after you woke up, Lafcadio and Nos went out to fight. You guys went out to investigate the haunted house. So in reality, it's early afternoon. Shops are still open. And if you'd like to look for some ruby dust, you can find a shop in town that sells various different kinds of alchemical supplies. which includes ruby dust, amongst other things.
Okay. Then yeah, we can go check that out after. I need to borrow 50 gold pieces from somebody, and then I need to spend that on ruby dust so I can make a flame that never goes away. We can put it near that place to keep the home safe for now. If you guys wanted to rest up before we mess with that portal in case we get pulled through it, that would be bad. You know, if you guys weren't 100% first because Shadowfell's pretty dangerous.
Is the lantern not working?
It will, but it'll run out eventually. You know, I don't want to leave any room for error. You know.
I'll join you. I need to go pick up some healing potions myself.
Yeah, I should probably do that as well.
I gotta go get those nets, but Kale, if you would do us collectively the favor, I'm going to give you 250 gold, and if you could please pick up however many diamonds you can get with that.
Okay. Sure.
Thanks.
Thank you. That's very generous of you.
I hear that this is needed to bring us back to life.
Yes.
I consider it a necessity.
Yeah, that's good idea. Good planning. I'll do that. I had to get my pencil.
So Wampum, how was the fight?
Well, me girl let me down just a little bit. Yeah, I thought she was going to take Lafcardi out pretty quickly, but I must give it to Lafcardio. He's a little wiry.
I see.
But once Nos caught him, yeah, it was kind of over with. But I tell you what, he made a good sparring out of it.
What happened?
Well, they ran to the right, and then they ran to the left,
Mm-hmm.
and then they ran to the right,
Uh-huh.
and then they ran to the left,
My goodness.
and I think they ran to the right again, and then Nos, I think, finally caught him.
And once she caught him, was it pretty much over?
Kinda, yeah, kinda, but he hurt Nos fairly well. He's a right quick one.
I see. So there was a lot of running.
Yeah.
Good to know.
You look at it and you can see that there's plenty of guards walking through town, still trying to catch their breath after running just to watch the battle. All right. So, Kale, you can find the alchemical supply store. It's simply known as Riorix.
Riorix.
Yep, Riorix.
Got it.
Yep. And he sells all manner of exotic alchemical supplies. Pretty much everything that you would have seen in the shop that you had visited the day before, the upper spice shop sort of area, but everything looks far more legitimate up here. So, what are you looking for?
50 gold worth of ruby dust, and then 200 gold worth of diamonds.
Okay. So, he will provide you with a collection of, if you go in there asking for 50 gold worth of ruby dust and 200 gold worth of diamonds, he will go behind the desk, pull out a bunch of equipment, and then place it on the table and ask you for 250 gold. There you go. Ta-da.
Okay. I mean, Can I confirm that it's ruby dust and diamonds first somehow?
Definitely ruby dust and diamonds. But what skills will you be putting to the test to try and make sure that what he's giving you is actually worth 50 gold of ruby dust and 200 gold of diamonds?
Now
Because he could give you a diamond,
Yes. That's an
and it
interesting
might
question.
not be worth what you're paying for it.
Right. So that's something I've wondered about spell components in this game for a while. Like,
Mhm.
what determines the worth of something? Is there some intrinsic worth that's determined by godly forces or something to each of these components? If someone determines that, like, this tiny diamond to them is worth 250 gold, then it's worth 250 gold, right?
It is substandard within the world. There is a set base value of everything that is there, and that controls the base value of everything. Obviously, merchants may mark up or mark down certain items depending on their situation, but the base value, the economy, is fairly stable within the world. Nothing really alters and shifts it in such a way drastically that it shifts that economy. So 50 gold of ruby dust, you could actually buy 50 gold of ruby dust for 10 gold if you got to the right place, or for 100 gold if you were being swindled.
I see. Okay, so how can I justify using my best skill?
Yep.
I'd like to. So I've bought. I had ruby dust before at some point, and I've definitely bought diamonds before. So I've seen
What's
diamonds.
specific is casting these spells
Hmm.
only uses that specific quantity, unless it says at least this much. If it says 50 gold worth of ruby dust, then it consumes only 50 gold's worth of ruby dust.
Mm.
Effectively, you could find out exactly by casting the spell. You don't want to do that because it's going to consume the ruby dust. But so you would have an idea of how much these things actually are because you would have used them previously.
Right. So I guess I could investigate them very closely and look at them and make sure that it looks like the same amount from before, or would that maybe be insight check?
I would say investigation could kind of cover the majority of all things included.
Okay.
What were you going to
Perfect.
say, Lafcadio?
I changed my mind, so I didn't. So
Okay, fair enough. All right, so an investigation check, please, Kale.
Sure. And just for good measure, Kale will have a hand in his pocket where he keeps his lucky rock, and he'll cast guidance before
Okay.
he investigates. Oh boy. Get one of these D4s. So that would be 37.
Wow.
All right. Pick a number between 1 and 20.
17.
Okay, perfect. So as you look over these things, you hold your composure as you start to realize this person probably doesn't actually know his stuff, and he has presented you with 100 gold worth of ruby dust and 300 gold worth of diamonds.
Well, Nos did ask me to get as much diamonds as I could. But,
Well,
I
Kale,
was... Yes.
Kale.
What? Hello?
I told you. You asked me for 50 gold before, so here's that 50 gold that I owed you.
Okay. I mean, you didn't owe it to me. I just needed it to buy these things. But Nos has it covered, actually. That's fine. You can keep it.
Well, see if you can get a little more.
Well, I'm afraid that this gentleman has actually provided me with more.
Kale. Shh.
No, you made it.
Allie's
I'm sorry.
gonna,
You just...
like,
Okay. All right, Ali. No. he is the only one that knows that he is potentially going to shortchange this store owner. No one else has done a check to be able to determine whether or not the value of the items is accurate. As such, Kale is the only one that knows that he is being presented with more than it's worth. Sorry to just...
Oh, no worries.
Sorry, guys, but Kale's from Eltergard. They're nice people.
So
They wouldn't do this.
So you don't need my 50 gold.
Need to plug my headphones back in. So you don't do yourselves. No, I do not. No.
Okay.
This amount will cover everything that I really needed right now.
Okay.
Unless you want to contribute another 50 gold toward the diamonds, then that's fine.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So Kale will set up the 150 gold in the counter, and he'll set aside, divide up. This is actually the right amount of ruby dust for 50 gold, and this is the right amount of diamonds for 150. Right? No.
250.
250. Yeah.
Hi. Thank you. You're welcome back at the store at any time. Pulling the excess back after realizing he had made a mistake. You can make that transaction without any issue.
Okay, cool. And in the future, I might suggest use a scale or something. Do some more measurements first beforehand.
Good idea. I appreciate it.
Thanks. Thank you very much. And that's it. Unless someone else wants. Does anyone else want things?
I'm gonna head to my general supply store down here.
I'll go with you.
Okay.
Okay. So, what are you getting? Because you did a lot of shopping yesterday.
I want to get, let's say, 2 healing potions.
Okay, that's fine. That's 100 gold pieces.
Yeah.
Allie will get 2 as well, and a 50-foot rope.
Mm-hmm.
And do they have any lanterns that stand out?
You can easily buy bullseye lanterns or hooded lanterns, either one.
Okay. She'll get a bullseye lantern as well.
Okay,
then,
10 gold apiece.
Perfect. And then enough oil for maybe 3 days worth?
Okay, 5 gold.
All right.
If you want it constantly burning for 3 days.
Yeah, she's just going to kind of keep it in a small container. And then... So that's all she needs.
Okay. Now you guys have you've got a couple hours to kill before Wampum's spiked plate armor is ready to go.
I'm still walking with Nos. I've decided to go with her to get the nets.
Okay. So you guys are going to have to find the nets. So, perception checks.
19.
9.
Okay. What's your passive, Nos?
10.
10. Okay.
It's I know where I left them.
Yeah. They have been moved. You threw, I think, 3 of them, right? 2 of them.
2.
Right. But both of those 2, Nos used her strength to get out of them rather than damaging them. As such, you go to where their location is. They've been moved. Lafcadio notices drag marks. They've been pulled away from here. And you follow the path, follow the marks. Eventually, you'll be led towards the guard station next to the front gate. Looks like the guards had picked up what remained of the battle. They'll give you your 2 nets back, no problem.
Thanks, mates.
You're welcome. Keep a closer eye on those. You never know what'll happen if you lose them next time.
I fear it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Lafcadio. As we're walking back, do we know where to meet everybody else, or are we just gonna wander around and try to find them?
Well, they said something about that haunted house that we met everyone by.
Oh, was that the one that we were next to?
I
Yeah.
think so. They seemed like they had just come out of wherever they were.
Okay, all right. I guess we'll go post up there.
And then Wampum's got to catch up with that fella at the smithy. But we've got time. Maybe they're just going to head back to the inn that we were at, or Allie is someone else.
Pick a direction.
Let's go to the inn. I got to rest up. I need to spend some hit dice.
What?
It's a saying I've heard.
All right, so you rest, and you can rest in the relative safety of the city. Wampum, did you pay for the armor previously?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So as the day moves on, you go back to the cellar. The armor is brilliantly displayed out at the front of his store. He's very proud of that piece of work. And as soon as you see it, you notice that what he's done is effectively just welded on a bunch of spikes. But he's welded it in such a way that it really accentuates and really makes you look so much cooler. The shoulder pads end in spikes. The knee pads, the toes, the boots, all have spikes on them. The forearms have spikes that stick out that just reach past the end of your fist. So it looks like proper brawling spiked sets of armor. It is good quality stuff. He'll hand it over to you, and he's quite proud of it. A little hesitant to give it away give it to you for a moment, but is proud to have. Just remember, you got it from me.
I'll tell everybody.
Good.
You know what? With this kind of work, I think it deserves just a little bit more than me gave you before. So
You get me more customers, then it's worth it. I make money off of you, not from you.
all right. So I'm gonna go into the store and go ahead and armor myself.
Right. Once you put it all on, feeling comfortable, it's the same set of armor that you had yesterday, so it fits right. It doesn't weigh too much more. The way in which it's actually been welded on to the portions of the armor, he's made sure to support it properly, so the weight isn't going to drag you down in any way. Effectively, the situation is like a dwarven berserker armor would be. Okay, works in the same way.
I'm gonna walk out onto his porch there, and just start flexing myself.
And Allie's still with him, right? Because I'm assuming they went from the general store to there.
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
She would have picked up random knickknacks or bought little knickknacks while they were traveling, like 20 gold worth. But
yeah,
I'll just factor that in. As Wampum walks out, she's like, "You look so cool."
I prefer the word badass.
You look more than double the type of badass.
And I'm gonna walk out to the front porch and just let out a nice just so I make myself just so everybody looks.
you look mean.
Off in the distance, people can hear thunder rumbling. It's like cast thaumaturgy.
All right. So, anything you guys are going to do before you rest? You'll be able to bed down. You had arranged for rooms, so you're fine with that. And the night will go, well, as far as you know, will go by fairly smoothly. You gave the boy more than enough oil to keep the lantern lit all night, so that's a good thing. Anything else? Yeah?
If we're all back at the inn.
Yep. Back at the inn.
So what's the deal with this haunted house? Are we gonna spend the night there? Is it like some sort of dare?
Well, Kale and I were going to a bookshop, and then out of nowhere, this man comes running and screaming, asking for help, and everyone ignored him. So, of course, being the good people we are, we offered to look into it for him. So we went into his house and found out that in his furnace is a portal to the Shadowfell, I think. I don't know about that. I think we should keep 2 people there with him, just in case. I mean, after all, you can't collect rewards if he gets eaten by shadowhounds.
Oh, is there an award?
I'm sure we'll hash out the details when he's more rational and safe.
Ghostbusters meet a protection racket. Okay.
He didn't mention a reward, but I guess if you guys wanted to hash something like that out with him, you could do that.
Or was it a nice house? Did he look like loaded?
If I recall correctly, it was pretty empty, right? Yeah.
Quite empty, yep.
Standard haunted house fare.
Mm-hmm.
Cobwebs, I bet.
Yeah, it was just an empty, creepy house. Maybe he'd give up the house. I don't know. Do you need a house?
I don't presently have one, so I guess technically, I'm in want of one.
You can live in my mansion in Neverwinter, Locadia.
Oh, yeah. It could be a summer home.
All right, so do we want to spend the night there, or spend the night here, or split the party?
What ye be thinking, Mr. Kale?
Allie, can you get a refund on your rooms if we all stay in the haunted house all night?
Probably not, but they were fairly inexpensive, so we'll always have them if we have to run away and hide.
Okay. Then it's probably a good idea for us to all stay in one place, and it's a doubly good idea for us to watch the portal to the Shadowfell. And it's a triply good idea, maybe, to let some guards know somewhere at some point that there's a portal to the Shadowfell in one of their people's houses. So I'm going to go do that.
Okay. They listen to you. They're quite glad that you let them know.
Is that a normal occurrence?
No, not at all. That doesn't happen.
Has it happened before?
Not that I know of. No. We can take care of it, of course. You don't need to worry. Thank you for bringing it to our attention. You don't need to worry about it anymore.
Okay, so what do you plan to do about it? I just ask because it sounds like you're very inexperienced with the issue.
Well, I was probably just going to send some people in and see what we can do about it. But
okay, if you don't mind, my group and I will probably be there and we'll watch.
Have you closed portals to the Shadowfell before?
I've closed portals to... Did we close that portal to the Feywild, or did it just went away? No, I haven't. But I've dealt with... Or wait, we closed the portal. Yes, I have. I remembered. Yes, absolutely, I have closed the portal to Shadowfell before. It was a little different because the portal was in the Feywild, but I imagine the principles are the same.
Wait, you closed the portal to the Shadowfell in the Feywild?
Yep.
You do know that those two planes don't connect, right?
How many times have you been to the Feywild, bud?
Well, okay, I've not been to the Feywild, but still... Okay, fine. If you seem so sure of it, perhaps you take care of it and we will watch and learn.
Perfect.
Okay. I will have 3 of my men stationed at the house that you indicate that you told me that had the thing all night.
Great. Perfect. I didn't want to, if anything happened, I wanted you guys to be aware of it because it is your city. So.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Move along. Okay.
So while Kale was off going to inform the guards, I'd like to check around for the history of that house, or ask around about the owner and anything that may have gone on in that house specifically in the past.
Okay. Roll an investigation check.
All right.
Uthgard Barbarian Burial now.
That would be a 14.
Okay. The history of buildings is not really something that's tracked too much in this particular town. I mean, unless a building is really noteworthy, it's not really that important to keep track of who owns which building. You ask the boy, he'll tell you that it's been in his family for a while. No one's been living in it for close to 20 years. He just came to take it because it was left to him in his inheritance. His last relative died, and he came to claim it. Yeah. So.
And do we have the name of his last relative?
Yes. His family was the Margaster family. Distant relatives of his. They are not well-known, but they are considered an established family. He let you know, and people might have heard of them from other places, but the Margaster family household has been in Everland for a while. It was built about 100 years ago, give or take. But it's not had any weird occurrences within it until now. It's also not been inhabited for 20 years, so swings and roundabouts.
Mm-hmm. And so I'm talking to the boy at this point?
Yep.
Okay.
He's pretty much the only one with knowledge about the house.
So let us talk about payment if we are able to solve this haunting problem for you.
You need payment? I don't have payment. I've got this house. That's it. What? If I wanted... Okay.
No, you don't have to pay us gold. How about if we ever need a place to stay in Evelyn for the night on our adventures? Would we be welcome to stay here?
I mean, yes, but this whole... It seems weird that payment, that puts a whole weird connotation. Like, if I say no, are you not going to help me?
I would still help you.
Okay. And sure.
I like to think of it as a business transaction. Favors between friends. It's nothing shady or anything like that. I just like to... how am I going to phrase this? I like to follow accordances of Timora and make everything I do as a service for a reward, whether it's just making a new friend or something like that. But I just like formalities about these.
I don't know nothing about Timora or what her teachings are, but that just seems really weird. Sure. yeah, I mean, you can stay in the house, but I don't have anything to give.
That's perfectly fine.
Okay. All right. He seems confused more than anything.
Yeah. Allie just gives him a warm smile and starts investigating the outside of the house.
Wampum will pull a chair up and a stool or another chair if need be, and just put his feet up beside the fireplace.
Yeah.
I'll go join him and whip out a deck of cards.
Looking about the house as a whole, there is nothing specific about the house that places it as the portal is there because the house is there and there's something wrong with the house.
Mm-hmm.
It just happens to be located in the fireplace.
Okay.
Looking around the house, it's structurally, it's sound, it's a simple house. There doesn't seem to be any sort of connection to anything negative or evil within the household at all. So,
And there's no like cellar space or anything like that.
no cellar space.
Okay.
Yep. All right. Any other sort of investigations you would be doing before the night falls?
No investigations. I would just.
Allie will just head inside.
I was going to ask, why are we waiting? What do we want to do here?
I remembered. So Kale will get back eventually. He'll be asked this question, I'm sure. I needed to wait until the next dawn to prepare a particular spell to help keep the portal under control.
What? Just out of curiosity, what spell is that?
Continual flame. That's what I needed the ruby dust for.
Oh, so we're just gonna, when you get that spell ready, cast the spell, and then we're done. Is that right?
Yeah. It won't close the portal, but it would keep it under control. If we wanted to try and close it, that would be different.
Why don't we want to try to actually close it like we did with the Feywild? I mean, we're here.
Right, I didn't mean to suggest that we shouldn't try that. I just hadn't really thought about it so much.
Well, this is a problem, and we're intending on solving it at some point. We have downtime.
Like in the Feywild, there was a crystal that was, or so I was told, a crystal that you had to destroy. And here in the fireplace, it doesn't look like there's any crystals. Nos, how did you think we would close this portal?
We'd have to actually go into the Shadowfell through the portal. Which would mean that there would be a gaping hole behind us that opened up to the Shadowfell until we returned.
I wouldn't call it gaping, but it is a hole.
Well, we can always have guards stand patrol here while we go take care of the business.
But if we close the portal from the other side, then we'll be in the Shadowfell.
Well,
how'd we get out of the Feywild?
Just went in the way we came, actually. Or went out the way we came in.
Should work the same, right? As far as I understand it, the way that you and that other guy put it is that they're mirror planes. So it works on one. Just like
Well, I think what Kale's saying is this is the portal. So if we walked through the portal and then closed it, we wouldn't be able to walk back.
That's true, but with all the shadow beasts entering the material plane, does that not theoretically mean that there are numerous other openings for us to travel through? Back to near here?
Unless you know of any other portals to the Shadowfell nearby, then, I mean, probably not. Look, I'll consult Denier about it before I go to sleep. I'll just ask.
tell him I said hi.
Sure. I greatly appreciate the extra vitality that your god has been bestowing upon me every morning. It didn't really help me with the fight against Nos, but, I mean...
Nothing would have.
She's a beast.
It wasn't really meant to, but that's fine. Happy to help.
So you're casting divination?
Yeah. Doing that. I need 25 gold worth of crap. Does this guy have like a book in his house?
Yeah. And he'll find a book.
Okay. Do you need this book? Because it's gonna be gone.
Does divination consume it every time?
I believe it does. Let me double check. Yes, it does.
No, I mean you can use it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, using it would mean that it's gone. So.
Oh. Sure. Yeah. It's okay. I don't mind.
Thank you. What's this book on, by the way?
It's a notebook. It's completely empty. He was just going to use it to draw pictures. In fact, you'll see little sketches have been placed inside of it. He's a fairly well-skilled amateur artist, I would say.
Would you say his amateur art is worth 25 gold pieces?
I would say the entire book is probably enough paper in there to be worth 25 gold pieces.
Okay. That's thick. Okay. Yeah, I set it out. I set that book on top of my book, and then I put incense on top of that other book, and then I light the incense, and it like just smoke covers his notebook, and then it's gone.
Okay. So, what are you asking?
Specifically, it's a
single question concerning a specific goal, event, or activity to occur within 7 days.
Do we have to enter the Shadowfell to close the portal in this house?
Yes. Sooner or later, you will have to enter the Shadowfell.
Okay. I can't respond, but okay.
Oh. Right.
Sounds good. So like he'll kind of go into a trance for a second while that's happening, and then he'll come to and he'll say, "All right." And as he's putting his book away, he'll say, "We have to go in the portal. Let's do it in the morning."
Okay.
Morning sounds.
All right. So you guys rest up here, but obviously with the portal to the Shadowfell next to you, even with all the lights that you have currently on it, it's probably a good idea to have someone watching it at each different stage.
Mm-hmm.
So, who's going to watch it at first?
I will take first watch.
Okay.
I'll go second.
Okay. All right. So, first watch. Roll a perception check.
That is 24.
Okay. Everything's fine on your watch. Goes by no issue. Second watch, who's rolling that one?
I will roll that one.
Okay.
And I'll lucky rock myself. And also, actually, do I have... Perception starts with a P. There it is. I don't have... so I will channel divinity proficiency myself with that.
Okay.
Bonuses. 14, 18, 24, 27.
Okay. Because you needed the proficiency bonus added into that. Right?
Yep.
Okay.
Might as well.
So, yeah, no, fair enough. All right. During the second watch with the night, some of the candles are starting to die down. Your lantern that you had set up is still burning, but you need to make sure to keep it topped up to make sure that it's still running and fine. At this point, 3 town guards approach to stand guard over the household as well. Just
Cool.
as you were promised previously, 3 guards would be spared. You then pass over to the third watch. Who's watching the third watch?
I can try.
Okay. Zola. Not Zola. Nos. Sorry. I'm sorry. My bad. Nos, roll a perception check.
5.
5. Okay. What's your passive?
10.
Okay. Unfortunately, while everyone else is asleep, Nos, a little bit distracted, maybe with your cards, maybe you're playing with them, shuffling them, trying to get better at it. You don't notice the stray dog comes walking in, knocks over the lantern, and walks out. I know. I rolled a nat 1 on the random encounter. It's going to happen. The lantern goes out. The oil spills over the floor. That you notice. There is a moment where there is no longer any light shining on the portal, and the lantern appears to be broken. What are you going to do, Nos?
Good. I don't have any source of fire myself. I could. No, I couldn't do that. That would be stupid. Yeah, I'm gonna have to wake someone up. So.
Can any of these like horrendously distracted guards help out at all? They didn't bring like lanterns or anything.
With the knocking of the lantern, I'm assuming it has like the glass kind of surroundings. Would that have woken anyone up that had been sleeping?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So it'd be safe to assume that Allie probably would have woken up from that.
I think it's safe to assume most people, including the guards that are stationed outside, would notice it, but they would have no idea what to do. So
Allie flips open the pack, pulls out her newly bought lantern.
Yep.
And
Okay. Thankfully, you managed to close it in time before anything untoward happens with the portal, and you can reset a new lantern. Everything's fine. The rest of the watch goes by fairly quietly. Unless you guys would like to have a go at the dog.
I might see about my theory as to whether or not it is just a dog with a different body. So I might, after mopping up the oil, go outside and see if it'll play fetch. Throw a stick at it.
Animal handling check.
Just to clarify, this is not a shadow dog. This is just a
This
dog
is
dog.
not a shadow dog.
Stray dog.
It's just a stray dog? Oh,
Stray
that's
dog.
stupid then. Then there's no point into the theory.
Okay.
So some random ass dog just like wandered in through an open door, like past these guards,
Yeah, Allie shuts the door.
knocks over a lamp, and then just pieces out.
Must have.
It's so rude. It's so
Are
rude.
there any higher up like lantern hooks on the ceiling that we can attach the lantern onto?
You can set a hook into the ceiling to do so. Yeah.
I don't want to damage this person's property. Allie hands the lantern over to Nos and goes, "I'm going back to sleep now." And just kind of curls up in the corner, her wings like wrapped around her. And then she's out.
All right. The rest of that watch goes by fairly quietly, and you hand over to Lafcadio, who takes the last watch, and nothing happens. The lantern's in place, everything's secure. You guys kept watch fairly fixed, so everything seemed good. Dawn breaks. Sun begins to shine through the misty windows of this person's house. It's obscured a little bit, so it just creates a strange grey hue on everything within the household. The light shines onto the fireplace, so your lantern is safe to be put away for the time being. What are you guys going to do now that everything's ready?
I gotta fix it.
Throw some curtains up.
Give myself that. Eventually, while I'm preparing spells here out of character, I will prepare the continual flame spell. And what am I gonna cast it on? Does this guy have like a busted lamp or something?
Well, you've got a busted lantern that fell over last night, so
Yeah, I guess I'll just cast it on that. What? Yeah, I'll just chuck some ruby dust in there, and it'll just light into a flame.
okay.
And I'll explain to them that it's permanently lit forever unless someone dispels it. But you can still cover it but don't do that because there's a portal to Shadowfell right there.
Okay. So no covering it.
Yeah, don't just leave it pointed at the portal.
So, after you.
So I understand the chain of events that we expect to happen is we're going to go into this portal, and then it will be closed behind us. Is that right?
Not necessarily. I just know we have to go in there for it to be closed.
Well, the continual light behind us should keep it closed, right?
Yes,
So
on this end, right.
Yeah.
So
you've cast the continual flame. Someone's going to have to cover the flame for you guys to even be able to use the portal to get into the Shadowfell, is what he's saying.
All right. So if we solve the problem, this portal will be double closed, both from the flame and from whatever actions we do to close the portal. Do we have this gentleman's name so we can tell him after the fact when we show up halfway across the continent?
I believe it was Malik.
Malik?
Yep. That was the young boy's name.
Okay.
Margaster.
We can let him know that the flame would no longer be necessary when all is said and done.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
We should also tell the guards, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, just in case we have to run back through the portal, maybe, or something like that.
Well, the portal's going to be closed because of the flame. This is a one-way trip.
Right.
So grab everything you need, because you're not coming back to Evelyn for a while.
Got it.
Okay. All right. So the spell cast, the light is right in front of the mantelpiece. It's covered with just a simple sheet, and as the sheet closes over it, you watch as the whole area in the mantelpiece just seems to shift. It turns dark and misty. A little bit of smoke begins to shift out, almost like a claw reaching out to grab at you guys. It seems to almost pull on Noss's cloak just ever so slightly, inviting you to cross through the portal into the Shadowfell.
Well, here we go. And Wampum will step through.
Okay. Wampum goes through.
I'm jumping after him.
Noss. Anyone
Owie.
hesitating?
No.
No.
Okay. All three of you go through. As soon as you go through, the cloth is removed. The portal closes behind you. Now, from your perspective, all you're doing is simply stepping through what feels like a curtain. It feels like a stiff mist almost. As you push past the wind, you break through into this grey landscape. Once all of you are across, the mantle place behind, the light, the little sliver of light that you could see behind you disappears. Everything in this land has a bit of a somber grey hue. There is no sun. You can't see it. You just see dark skies meeting with grey clouds all over the place. Off in the distance, you can see enormous mountains climbing up like teeth towards the sky. Some of them you can even see right from where you are erupting in a brilliant display of lava. I need everyone to roll a wisdom saving throw.
1.
So, 1 from Lafcadio. Okay.
13 for Allie.
13 for Ali.
29.
29 for Kale.
10.
Nos. 10 for Wampum. Nos.
5.
5. Okay. Wonderful. So, Lafcadio and Nos. You two. Roll a d6 each.
4.
3.
Okay. The Shadowfell is starting to have an effect on the both of you immediately upon being here. Everything just feels sullen, and you feel like a weight immediately crashing down on your shoulders. Lafcadio, you feel dread. You have disadvantage on all saving throws and gain the following flaw. I'm convinced that this place is going to kill me for your entire duration of being in the Shadowfell. Okay.
Got it.
That's fair.
Nos, however, you gain apathy. The character has disadvantage on death saving throws and on dexterity checks for initiative, and gains the following flaw. I don't believe I can make a difference to anyone or anything.
Got it.
Okay, cool. So before you just looks like this huge expanse of just bleak grayness. Perception checks all around.
$17.
I have a 15, but my passive perception's a 20.
15 plus, what is this? 24.
Okay.
A passive of 22 for Wampum.
All right.
Don't even worry about me.
What was it?
It was a 2.
2. Okay, fine. All right. So those of you with a passive of 15 or higher, or rolled 15 or higher, you notice, each of you, that within this land, there are some things that are quite constant that you can always see. No matter where you're looking, you just always seem to see. And that is mist, fog everywhere, and also random pieces of rock just floating through the sky. Those with 20 or higher that notice these things spot one of those pieces of rock seems to be an entire citadel just floating across the Shadowfell by itself, high above you. Rising from the center of this citadel is a pure white shaft of light, similar to the shaft of light that you had witnessed whilst in the Feywild, present next to that crystal. So that citadel seems to stand out to you.
But it's floating up in the air.
It's floating up in the air.
Great.
Allie,
What?
you see that light up there?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that'd be the way out.
Probably, but I can't carry you all, and I don't think it's a good idea for me to just fly off alone.
No, that'd probably be a bad idea.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull out that scarf that Ellie bought all of us and just put it over my face. I was like, what's with all this mist? Is it all right to breathe? I feel like it's poisonous. I'm really not comfortable here.
Yes, the Shadowfell has that reputation, as far as I've read. I don't think the mist is going to do anything to you special.
Are you
It's more-
sure?
No, I'm not sure. You can cover your face if you want. That's fine.
Pretend my face is still covered.
Okay.
Allie
I'm
gives like a thumbs up that he's wearing the scarf.
putting a post-it note over your mouth. There we go.
Nos,
Yeah.
there'll be a floating citadel up there. You see it?
Yeah.
You see that light too?
Yeah.
So, that might be the way out.
Okay. So,
I'm just a saying.
Yes. I guess we should just walk toward it. Is it like right above us?
No, it's not right above you. It's just kind of floating ahead of you. It's quite a distance away, but it's a huge citadel. It's an entire city on a floating piece of rock.
Okay. Well,
Can you describe the area around where we entered? Are there any tracks, anything like that would be noticeable?
Right now, you just seem to be surrounded by a layer of mist.
Okay.
Everything's a little bit difficult, but if you're going to start moving and looking for stuff, then you will start noticing that as you're moving away from the point that you're at, certain shapes begin to form out of the mist. Little rocky outcroppings just poke their way out, and walking through it, you can see a little ways through the mist, like a normal fog would be. It obscures everything past about 30 foot away from you, so it makes it difficult to see any tracks or things farther away from you. But as you begin to move, you'll see them dotted around. You see what looks like the start of a tower that has fallen over. A rocky, like a brick structure that has been pushed over. You look at the bricks, they seem to be pure black. Like obsidian blocks.
How big are they? Are they like a normal sized brick, or are they kind of like slabs?
A normal sized brick, from
All
what
right.
you would expect.
And how far away am I from everyone else as I notice this, like 30
I don't
yards?
see any. Yeah, I don't see much reason for anyone to not stick with you, or
Okay.
not walk with you. So 30 foot, mostly.
Allie is going to go, guys, I'm going to look at this tower, and start looking around the tower. She's going to kind of pick up one of the bricks.
Okay.
Tentatively, careful of the last time she touched something from the Shadowfell.
Immediately, something strikes your recollection. You've seen a tower built out of the same sort of bricks before. In fact, looking at this structure that's now broken over and lying down, it looks to be like Moongleam Tower from the material plane Everland. That tower that the Harpers use to watch over the city, and you've used for, or potentially used for teleportation travel. It seems like a version of that is here, but is lying on its side.
I'd like to investigate it and kind of look if there's anything lying around. So is it like rubble, like long eroded, pushed over, destroyed?
Looks like the earth has almost completely swallowed the entire building, and you just got one side of the tower that's just poking up about 3 foot out of the ground.
Okay.
If you really try to dig it out, you could start digging out more and more and see more of the tower. But right now, it's just like a 3 foot tall line.
Okay. Allie is gonna take one of the bricks and put it in her bag.
Allie,
Yeah.
be careful of that thing. That looks dangerous. It might be filled with shadow danger.
do you feel okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just testing something.
Mm-hmm.
What
As
do
you
you
pick
think?
up the block, put it in your bag, taking it and lifting it off of the structure causes a little bit of the mist around you to kick up and swirl, and it keeps swirling and collecting and shifting into ghostly forms.
You did it
Find
again,
yourselves.
Ellie.
Feel free to reposition yourselves on the map anywhere within 30 feet of your current position. Allie, you just need to make sure you're within 5 feet of any of the walls that you should all be able to see down here.
Nope. Black
Eyes-
screen.
Black screen.
Yep.
Black screen?
Black
Black
screen.
This
Proper
Shadowfell is really
Shadowfell.
dark.
Cast light.
Yep. That's what I get for trying to block off vision of certain areas. Just don't look 50 foot to your left, you'll see green screen. Can you all see yourselves now?
Yes.
All right. You should all be able to control these grey bordered versions of your own tokens. Okay. So as I said, position yourselves anywhere within 30 feet as the mists begin to collect and coalesce into a battle situation.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Good. Good.
The ghost got me.
They might.
Kale, did you happen to cast aid on us this morning?
Yeah.
Excellent.
And Death Ward on myself.
That's your usual daily thing that you do, right?
Yep.
And that's plus 10 HP to me and Allie.
Yep.
And my initiative is 23.
Okay. I'll ask you it again in a moment. Okay, just going to finish up the initiative for all of these creatures. Yeah. All right, cool. So I have Lafcadio with an initiative of 25. Looks like Wampum has an initiative of 26, right?
Yep.
Okay, Nos, what's your initiative?
16.
16. Okay. Add you in with a 16. Kale.
12.
12. And Allie.
23.
Nice initiative rolls. All right. So, top of the round. As the Allie, I need you to. Well, is that the wall that you took a brick from?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll say
in
that's-
which case, there is a ghost next to you in that position.
Do any of
Right.
these ghosts look familiar? Okay, I just was seeing if they were familiar faces from that tower.
No, no.
Okay.
All right. So, as these ghosts begin to appear, Wampum, what do you do?
Allie, what'd you do, Allie?
I just touched one of the bricks!
Now look what's happening. We got dead things.
Yep, you got dead things.
Well,
So
I didn't kill them!
Wampum will throw his hammer to the one right there.
Okay.
He's got a 17 to hit.
That's going to hit the creature.
And hammer throw damage. For 17 points of damage.
Okay. Anything else as you hit this ghost with your hammer?
Yeah, his second attack, he is going to throw at the same creature
Okay.
for a 27 to hit.
Certainly going to hit.
And he is going to use his distracting strike
Okay.
for that's 15 points of damage plus another d8. For another 3 points of damage, total of 18.
Okay.
And since he is distracted, the next person that attacks
Does he
that
not
creature-
have to make a save against the distraction?
No.
Okay.
So the next person who attacks the creature has advantage.
Okay.
And
Then anything else from you?
Wampum will go 5 more feet forward.
Okay.
And I'm done.
All right. Next up is Lafcadio.
So, looking around, I can see 3 of these ghostly figures appear similar to each other, and then there's one that appears different. Can I? What can I gather from the differences? What do they look like?
So, what's your passive perception?
It is 14.
Okay. In the initial heat of what's happened with your adrenaline surging in with the situation, all that really looks different between them is that you have two that seem a little bit more solid compared to the others. You have three that are very mistborn, like they still seem fairly ghostly, apparitions, but the other ones seem almost like perfectly solid, but very white and ghostly in their appearance. Almost like you take a woman, dip her in white paint, and stick her in the water as her hair begins to flow and her dress kind of flows around it as if she's underwater. Okay.
Very well. I will continue to focus fire on the same individual that Wampum has just thrown his hammer at.
Okay.
I will cast Sacred...
Oops.
I don't know what all that's about. Sacred Flame, which is a Dex save against my spell DC. Of 18.
Mm-hmm. I think... I don't see why it wouldn't have a problem. All right, so Dex save from the one that the Wampum was attacking, right?
Yep.
Dexterity. It rolls an 11, so it fails. What? How much sacred radiant damage does it take?
A hot 3.
Aha! A whopping 3 points of radiant. Okay, anything else?
That's it. Oh, well,
right.
I will... I don't... I was going to walk away, but I don't want to be separated from the group either, so...
Okay. Ali.
Yes. So do I still have the brick in my hand?
Yep. You were just about to put it in your bag.
Quickly, put it back on. Put it back down. Boop. And draw my dagger and crossbow.
Okay.
And would I be able to make an attack, or would that take up my action?
Okay, so as part of one attack, you can draw one weapon.
Okay. So
Okay.
I will draw my crossbow,
Okay.
fire it at the apparition that Wampum has been firing at and hitting in Lefcadio.
Okay. Go ahead and fire.
That would be a natural 1 plus... let's see. Sorry, I have to... So a 9 total, but yeah.
Doesn't matter, because natural 1 is always a miss.
Yep. And
Okay.
then because of the crossbow feat, I can make a second attack and ignore the reloading feat. So quickly reload and fire a second one
Okay.
for a 27.
Okay, the 27 will hit. Go ahead and roll the damage.
5 whole damage.
All right. Now, as the crossbow bolt connects, it's non-magical damage, correct?
Yep.
So, looking at it, this creature seems to be resistant to it and only takes 2 points of piercing damage.
And
Anything
then-
else from you, Ali?
Yeah, then I will fall back right there, putting some
Okay.
distance between me and the other one.
All right. Then, after you, we actually have one of these more pure white individuals that stands out from the rest. This creature seems to scream towards you. And she is going to use her horrifying visage by moving into here. Each non-undead creature, which is all of you, within 60 feet of this creature, need to roll wisdom saving throws, please. And Lafcadio is at disadvantage because of his...
Is it wisdom?
It is wisdom against the horrifying visage.
Okay.
Okay.
8.
Okay.
16.
14.
Wampum has a 9.
9.
I actually got a 17 on that one.
Hey!
Hey.
All right.
Hey.
So, Wampum and Lafcadio become frightened of this banshee. A frightened target can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns with disadvantage if the banshee is within line of sight, ending the effect on itself on a success. If a target saving throw is successful, which is the other 3 of you, the target is immune to this banshee's horrifying visage for the next 24 hours. But unfortunately, there are 2 banshees. And as it steps back out of the way, the other banshee actually approaches and is going to wail.
There we go.
The banshee releases a mournful wail, provided, well, she's in the Shadowfell, so she's not in this area. All other creatures within 30 feet of her that can hear her, which is all of you, must make a Constitution saving throw.
I rolled a 4.
I rolled a 17.
8.
21.
15.
Okay. So, Ali, Wampum, and Nos, you guys take 8 psychic damage. Lafcadio and Kale, as you both rolled below 13, right?
Mm-hmm.
You drop to 0 hit points.
Fair enough.
Okay. Okay. I did not expect this to go this badly, this quickly. Yeah, all right. So, since she began stealing stuff, Ali is the target of one of these ghosts' ire right now. Why won't this work? There we go. Okay. So she is going to approach Ali. This ghostly form steps up and just starts trying to zone in on your mind, just really trying to rack your brain as it's going to attempt to possess you.
Ooh.
Okay? I need you to roll a charisma saving throw.
That'd be a 9.
Okay. Yep. So Ali is now incapacitated and loses control of her body. The ghost has full control over Ali right now.
How fun.
Nos.
I look at Kale, I look at Lafcadio, and I'll look over to Wampum and be like, "Are we still fighting?"
Well, we're gonna have to.
I mean, we could just make a run for it too, maybe.
I follow ye, girl.
I don't. We're not gonna beat these guys. So Nos is completely gripped within her illness.
Mhm.
There's nothing else to call it that this place has put upon her. So she's going to go pick up Kale.
Okay.
And just start going south.
You're going to run with Kale's body in your hands.
Yep.
Okay.
So how far can I get there?
So carrying another person is going to weigh you down, unless you're at least one size larger than them. So
Which I'm not.
it's double. It's difficult terrain, effectively. So it's half speed to be able to run away.
Okay, so I get just off the map.
Okay. Well, I can give you more map.
Give me more map. Hey, Allie, grab Lepicadio. Let's go.
Well, I tried to get. Just added extra size on the map, but the wrong direction.
We're running that way now. No.
There we go. That's much more like it. So you're going to run south of you?
Yeah, we get there.
Okay. All right. With his body underneath you? Okay.
Footballing.
We have another ghost that's going to approach Wampum. Wampum.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to hit you with or at least it's going to try to hit you with a 16 to hit.
Nope.
Okay. Kale.
Okay. I stabilize because I got the perioptic wound closure, so I'm good. Do I still make rolls? If I get a 20, I can be awake, or no?
No, you just immediately stabilize.
Fair enough.
Okay. So we have one more ghost that's going to approach. This one's going to approach Wampum and try to possess Wampum. So Wampum, I need you to roll a charisma save.
One sec.
Yeah. What's
Wait a second.
Death Ward was on yourself, right?
Yeah.
So you should have been at 1 hit point.
I was at 1 hit point.
We gotta go back.
I forgot I
Oh.
did that.
Is my webcam on?
No.
Maybe.
No.
No.
All right, 1 sec. There we go.
Anyway, yeah, I should be at 1 HP.
Yeah. I still think, because you've not made any saves or anything, we can go back to your turn. So before the ghost decides to start messing with Wampum, Kale, you're being carried by... Well, would you be carried by
No,
Nos
because
still?
if he was still standing, she wouldn't have done that.
Okay, what would you have done instead?
Probably gone and poked the nearest thing that was threatening him. Would have probably fought, because there's observably only one down.
Fair enough. Trying to think how far back do we skip? Not too far. All right, so we move time skip backwards.
Sorry.
Okay, so Nos, what would you have done instead?
That guy's still there, so I would have. Let's see. I think Kale was up over here. I was up over here. And I do not need to move in order to fight this guy, this banshee that's creeping in on our left.
Correct.
So let's do it.
What are you going to do with it?
I'm going to hit with my glaive.
That's going to hit. That's going to hurt it.
With a 27, yes.
Right, and your glaive is magical, right?
Yes, and that's 12 points of damage.
Mm-hmm.
And then do it again. There's a 26.
That's going to hit.
That's 9 points of damage. And then a half attack. That is a critical.
That's a powerful swing.
Yes. 12 points of damage.
Right. This banshee is now quite wounded as you've just unloaded a barrage of attacks against her. Anything else from you?
Yeah, let's go ahead and action surge if she looks like she's kind of wobbling and taking some damage here. There's a 22.
That's going to hit.
That's 14 points.
Right. One more swing.
17.
That'll do it.
Cool. 15 slashing.
As you strike down this banshee in a massive scream, she explodes and disappears in a cloud of smoke.
Just like, that was irritating.
Yep. All right. Anything else from you, Nos?
No. That is everything I can do. Well,
Okay.
I can move, I suppose. No, I'm not going to move away from Kale.
All right. Then we have the ghost that moves up, tries to hit Wampum and missed. Kale.
I'm gonna go ahead and go Nova on these guys. So he drops the 1 hit point with the death ward, just like he feels it break around him, and he panics and he clutches the sunburst pendant that he got, and he shouts a word in I don't know, Sylvan, and just this huge column of light just appears kind of in the middle of everything. And I cast the Dawn spell in like the middle of us, so it hits all these guys because it's 30-foot radius.
Yep.
So that's, they all have to do, everybody who is an enemy, I believe it's people I choose, right? Each creature in it. Oh shit, maybe I don't do that. That'd be a bad idea. No, that's a bad idea. Never mind. Oh, that looks really cool though. I kind of want to do it, but no, I don't want to hit every single one of us. I wonder, could I? 30 would hit. Crap. That's 30. It would hit an os. Oh, God. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, he'd probably just do it anyway in a way that would hit Wampum and Nos.
Okay, what's the actual size of the Dawn spell?
It's a 30-foot radius, so
Okay,
60 feet
so
total.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 50, 55. One more square. There we go. So, Ken, let me bring it back in. So, you can tell me to move it up, down, left, right. Where do you want it centered?
I would like to move it right a little bit. Shit. I can't hit all three of them, can I?
You could like that.
Yeah, I sure could. I'm just trying to think. So go 25 that way. Center it. See if you can center it where my measurement's coming from. You see my little thingy?
Mm-hmm. We could try it more like that. That could work.
Yeah. So how does that work with Allie being possessed? Does Allie have to make the save, or does the ghost make the save?
So, Allie is incapacitated and lose control of her body. The ghost can't be targeted by any attack, spell, or other effect except ones that turn undead, and it retains its alignment, intelligence, and wisdom, charisma, and immunity to being charmed and frightened. It otherwise uses the possessed target's features, statistics, and so on. So imagine Allie, but with the ghost's... imagine the ghost has wild shaped into Allie.
Okay, you just reminded me. I completely forgot.
That you have turn undead.
Hey, I'm a cleric. Like, why don't I just do that?
I did want to mention in the Dawn spell, the last sentence says on your bonus action you can move it. So you could just cast it into one spot and then move it to another spot, 60 feet.
Okay. I will keep that in mind, but yeah, I couldn't just turn undead. Like, why would I not do that? So yeah, he'll just do that. He'll raise his inherited book of Denier into the air, and he'll kind of just, I guess, well, I'm 30 feet away from that one, right? Oh, shit. Nope. I need to move over here. So get in the middle of everything and raise the book into the air and cast Turn Undead. So they have to make DC 17 wisdom saves.
Okay. So the ghosts, the 3 ghosts that are still active, I have, 10, 15, and the one currently possessing Allie, 18. Okay. The Banshee rolls, it's proficient in wisdom saves. That is a 22 from the Banshee. So you feared, you turned the 2 northernmost ghosts. You didn't turn the one inside Allie or the Banshee.
All right. Perfect. And then I will, I guess, have movement left. Would Ellie op attack me if I moved out of her range?
Do you even know that she's possessed?
I don't really. Why would I know that?
I mean, unless he saw the ghost just go into me.
Could be.
He's just gonna move back here and get next to Lafcadio.
Okay.
That's it.
Healing word. Healing word.
Can't cast another first level or higher spell.
You didn't cast the
Or
spell.
wait, okay, healing word.
Okay.
Got it. 2 plus whatever my thing is.
Just
5.
some heals.
Yeah, 7. Here you go.
All right. Lafcadio gets 7 hit points back. Right. So, I would say Lafcadio is no longer frightened of the banshee that frightened him, as per going unconscious. So, we have a ghost that is currently turned by our cleric. So, a turned creature must use its actions to move further away, right?
I think it just can't come toward me. Or yeah, it has to run away. Yep.
Has to run away. So it's going to move naturally 30 foot away, and then it must use its action to then dash off to the green place. Right. The other one has to do the same thing. It willingly runs away, which does provoke an attack of opportunity from Wampum.
All right.
Wait, what am I doing? It's not that ghost's turn. Sorry. It's actually Wampum's turn now. So, with the ghost still next to you, it is frightened. What are you going to do, Wampum?
Do I have advantage on it?
No.
No. So it's a
Hit.
24 to hit.
Hit the banshee.
And
You hit the ghost.
a 14 damage.
That's a dead ghost. Dead
And then
again, ghost.
I am going to move up to here.
Okay.
And then I am going, my second attack will be at the Banshee,
Okay.
which is going to be a 23.
That'll hit.
And it's going to be 17 points of damage.
Okay.
I'm going to action surge
Okay.
for a 21 to hit.
Okay. That'll hit.
16 points of damage.
All right.
And then my second attack is going to be a 16 to hit.
That'll hit.
And I will be using the my distracting strike
Okay.
for 14 points of damage plus another D8 for 3 more, so a total of 17 points of damage.
Okay.
And the next attack on it has advantage.
Okay. Lafcadio. Prone.
I will cast Sacred Flame on that Banshee.
Okay.
So, dex save 18.
It succeeds the dex save.
So nothing happens to it.
Okay.
And I will, as my bonus action, use my Healing Light to heal myself for
Okay.
26 HPs.
Nice.
26 plus 7 is 33. All right, and then I will use half my movement to stand up.
Okay.
It's like,
Anything else?
this place sucks! That's it.
It's Alan's fault.
And Ali, just stunned there, doesn't do a thing.
Yep.
Revenge.
Do I see anything as I'm possessed?
You are completely aware of everything that's going on. You just can't do anything
Okay.
about it.
Allie, do something.
Yep. All right. So Ali just stays there, not moving. The Banshee, this one didn't use its whale, so it will do. So each creature that is not undead needs to roll a Constitution saving throw. That does actually include Ali.
Okie dokie. And is that with disadvantage?
No.
Okay.
11.
12.
I also got 12.
26 for Wampum.
Okay.
24.
24.
Good thing we bought those healing potions.
Okay. So Nos and Wampum are the only ones that don't drop to 0 hit points as this thing wails. Now, thankfully, the possession lasts until the body drops to 0 hit points, and I don't see any particular reason why a Banshee's wail wouldn't affect a possessed creature's body. So, in that moment, Ali goes to 0 hit points, but she also loses possession. So the ghost pops out. All right, so we have Nos and Wampum still up. Everyone else is at 0. Next is the ghost. It's going for Nos. Let's see if it's... Nope. All right. In which case, the ghost is going to just attack Nos. That is a 16 to hit.
Miss.
Okay. That's the end of its turn. Nos, what are you going to do?
I'm going to attack it back.
Okay.
That's 28.
That's going to hit.
14 points. And then again,
Okay.
25.
Another one.
14 points.
Solid. It's still up, though.
All right, half attack. 22.
That'll hit.
10.
10. That heavily weakens this creature. All right.
Oh,
Anything-
also,
Yeah?
when it appeared next to Allie, would that have triggered my ability to opportunity attack it? 'Cause it didn't. It appeared in the space, right? It didn't move into it.
It didn't move into a space,
Okay,
so
alright.
it just appeared. Yeah. Okay. Then we have... All right. After that, what was... Oh, I lost the initiative of the creature that was... It was 15. Okay. So the creature that was frightened of Kale is no longer frightened of Kale once he drops, I believe. Or is that just a forever thing?
It's turn for 1 minute or until it takes any damage. That's it.
Okay, then it's just going to keep running. It'll run off the map and be considered no longer something to be cared about. Kale, you stabilize.
Stabilize.
Good purchase. Wampum, what are you going to do?
Attack that Banshee that kept moving from me.
Okay,
For that would be a 29 to hit.
that's going to hit.
For 12 points of damage.
And that is going to kill the Banshee. How do you kill it, Wampum?
Throw my weapon at the back of his head and say, "You just, I hate evil, Ellie. I hate evil, Ellie."
Okay. Anything else from you, Wampum?
My second attack will go for the ghost that's on Nos.
Okay.
Oops, come on. There it comes. That would be, I'm going to use a die
Yeah?
to make sure that I hit.
You use that die.
Do it.
And a total of 4 more, so that's a 17 to hit.
That's going to hit.
And Nos, look out, incoming. 16 points of damage.
All right. Ghostbuster Wampum. How do you destroy this next one?
Just him being upset that Allie brought all these evil undead things. He's just angry. It says, you know, as he said, Nos incoming, and he just takes a couple stutter steps, winds up, and throws it as hard as he can throw it.
Okay. You connect with the ghost, and it just dissipates instantly. The hammer just misses Nos, stops right next to her, and then flies back.
and then I walk up to Allie and slap her on the back of the head.
Well, she's unconscious.
Okay, that
Jesus.
is a melee attack within 5 feet of a creature. That's 2 failed death saves.
Oh no, she's dead?
No, I'm unconscious.
She's unconscious. She's at 0 hit points. So if you make a melee attack, you're going to cause 2 failed death saves.
Oh no, I thought she was still up.
No, she's unconscious.
Just walks up to her unconscious body.
right.
I'm gonna walk up and grab her by the collar and act like I'm gonna smack her. And then just look at Kale. Can you do something to this?
Well, he's unconscious
Kale's
too,
also
so he doesn't respond.
You and
well,
Nos.
Then I'm gonna pop one of my healing potions.
Okay.
Pour it down her throat.
If you're pouring a healing potion down Ali's throat, who's going to pick up Lafcadio?
I'll give it a shot.
All right. So are you going to use a medicine check, or are you going to give him a potion?
I don't have a potion. So
Roll a medicine check.
Wampum would know that Allie has 2 potions because he was there at the store.
15.
Lafcadio is stabilized. So you have Lafcadio stabilized, Kale stabilized. Ali is now conscious. Roll 2d4 plus 2. Wampum.
Okay. 4. Let's go. Rolling 2. Modifier 2. So that's going to be 7 points of damage. 7 points of healing.
7 points of
Okay.
healing.
So Ali has 7 hit points, wakes up.
And
No
then
Yep.
I'm going to flick her right between the eyes.
All right. What's your strength modifier? It's not going to be enough. I just want to know how close he takes her down.
+9.
That would definitely take me down. So
Your
is he like
strength
doing
modifier
this?
is.
I'm sorry. It's a +5 modifier.
Right.
I was going to
Not
say,
mine.
all right. So you bring her back to 7 and then deal 6 points of damage to her as you flick her in the forehead. Put her right on the edge at 1 hit point. We're going to take a 15-minute break and deal with this. Join us back in 15 minutes once we've figured out what's going on. See you all then. Bye. Welcome back, everyone, after that quick break. Thank you for sticking with us. So, we've rejoined the party right where we left off. We are in the dreaded Shadowfell. It is dark. It is lonely. This place is out to kill you, Lafcadio. It is. And there's nothing Nos can do to help anyone. It's a dark and dreary place. Right now, you guys are situated with Lafcadio and Kale, both currently stable. As such, they won't gain consciousness without additional magical means for another hour. So,
Wampum
What?
is kneeling over top of Allie.
mhm.
I told you, do not touch.
I'm sorry.
Now, use your potions that you got at the store and get our healers up.
All right. Allie digs in her pack and quickly empties a potion down Kale's throat, then moves to Lafcadio and just
All right, roll 2d4 plus 2 twice.
2d4 plus 2. All right. For Kale, that would be a 5 plus 2, so 7.
Okay.
And for Lafcadio, that would be a 8.
All right. As life springs back to your eyes, what are you guys going to do? I mean, you're obviously not in a safe space.
Probably walk around a little bit, see if we can find somewhere that's safer.
Yeah, let's look for shelter.
Yeah.
Okay. So, which of your skills are you going to use to find yourself some place to stay that is quiet and safe?
Wampum will walk around and using his perception to see if there's any type of fortified structure still standing.
Yep. And I'll use an insight check.
Insight on what?
Oh. On the fallen tower that we're located near. On whether any of the rubble nearby would be able to be kind of fortified.
So that would be... It's not really an insight check. Insight is your ability to
would that be
read
a
other
perception
individuals.
check?
It's more perception. So both of you roll perception checks.
Does someone want guidance?
I'm good.
I give it to you anyway.
What does it do?
It gives you an extra D4 on your check.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right. 30.
Okay. That brick wanted to kill you, apparently. No, from looking around with your perception, you can confirm again with the structure that you saw, the obsidian bricks. You are what looks to be a Shadowfell version of the city of Everland. Judging by the city in the current position that you stood in, when you stepped through that portal, it didn't place you in exactly the same spot within the city of Everland. It actually dropped you off a little bit outside. It dropped you off near the Moongleam Tower. So looking around, getting a good idea, okay, so the city's outer walls would be here. Imagining in your mind's eye the material plane, you could then start searching for other locations within town. One place springs to mind, a place with an underground bunker and a tavern. So you start heading south of what you can assume to be south of the Moongleam Tower here. You see a huge crevasse drop that just disappears into darkness that's about 100 foot across. There was once a bridge, but that bridge has since been destroyed. This is the river that cuts through the city of Everland, or at least the Shadowfell version of it. But it doesn't seem like there's a safe way to cross. But you have a hunch there might be a safe space on the other side of it. Otherwise, you could go and explore north, but you don't see anything that stands out. Similar situation with you, Wampum. You don't see anything immediately. You'd have to just actually start exploring the land.
Mr. Kale,
Are
you getting the same type of thing that I'm getting where this looks like Everland?
Oh, yeah, of course. It's like the Feywild, Shadowfell is a mirror of the material plane. It's just twisted and tortured and bad.
So if we get our bearings straight, then we could probably find some halfway decent shelter.
Probably, yeah. Then did you say, Taylor, did you say that Allie is the only one that remembers this bunker?
No. You guys can remember the bunker. It's just Allie was the first one to kind of recognize, okay, this is the direction that I would be in. So Ali can tell, looking by the way that the ruins around you are situated, Ali could pretty much direct, okay, the bunker is on this direction.
The underground tavern we went to is that way. That should be safe.
Okay.
All right. Lead the way.
Yeah, sounds good.
Are you sure you really want me to lead the way?
Yes, Allie.
Or you could just give directions, maybe to, she could give directions to you, dwarf guy.
I trust you, Allie.
Allie kind of rubs where she got flicked. All right. Let's go this way then, and she'll start leading them along. She's gonna be leading about 10 to 15 feet in front of the nearest party member, trying to use the mist to her advantage to kind of let her companions kind of still know the general area she's in it, but kind of be a little bit stealthier. So I'm not going to roll a stealth check, but she's just trying to...
Having a moment to yourself.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. So as I said before, you can guide the party. You know where to go. However, there's only one bridge that's destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
You need to get over a huge crevasse if you want to use that shelter. How are you going to cross this 100-foot gap?
All right. Any ideas?
Well, you got wings, don't you?
But do you think I can carry you?
No, just carry the rope.
What is there anything over there that we can see that we could tie a rope to?
You have two ends of a bridge that is broken.
Okay, so...
And the bridges that are broken a little bit inside. So you could go onto the bridge, tie off one side, fly across, tie off on the other. And then you would effectively be reconstructing the original bridge.
Okay. Allie, with her newly purchased rope that she got, great purchases, will go over to the bridge, kind of quietly tie it off. She's going to look down into the crevice and kind of see if there's anything underneath the bridge or in the crevice that may be hostile.
You can't... Your dark vision's limited to 60 feet?
Yep.
Can't see the bottom of the crevice. Can't see anything in it. It's just mist.
Okay.
As far as the eye.
She is... And it's a 50-foot rope, I believe?
Yeah, 50 foot is the standard length. But
All
the
right.
party should have more than enough rope, I think.
Okay.
Within the party.
So she's going to fly up above the crevice, giving a good berth between where the original bridge was and where she's flying up, and then going over and tying it off.
Yeah.
She's going to investigate the other post to make sure it's sturdy
Roll an
on
investigation
her
check.
side. That would be a 11.
Yeah. It seems fairly sturdy. It feels strong. You double knot and check, and you make sure to tie it around not just that post, but also some bricks that are around there as well. You really want to make sure that this thing is safe. Right?
Mm-hmm. And then she will fly back over the crevice, giving it a wide berth, land down. All right, I tied it off, but I'll fly near you guys just in case anything happens with the rope. Maybe I can grab someone.
Okay.
So, as you're going to cross over, using Ali to help you as she's flying, everyone needs to roll an athletics check with advantage.
18.
18. You managed to get across, no problem. Done.
28.
Even quicker and easier than knockout.
Ooh, 25.
Okay. And Wampum,
27.
27. Okay. Working together, you guys managed to get everyone across to the other side. Are you going to leave the rope there, or are you going to tie it off? Are you going to
I'm
pull it
going to
back?
untie it and I spent 5 gold on that. Of course, I'm going to get it back. Yeah.
All right. So, having everyone now on this side of the crevasse, the missing river, you follow the directions that you know. You head down the street, and sure enough, you will find what remains of a ruined structure that should be in the same position as the spice shop that you had gone to. You kind of brush aside some dust and dirt, and there will be a trapdoor that opens up into a bunker.
Great. With Kadi, do you think we could get some light, maybe, down there?
Sure. I'll grab a crossbow bolt, put the cantrip on it, and drop it down there.
Okay. The light starts to illuminate the space below. It looks like a bomb shelter of sorts. In fact, as the light seems to illuminate the place, it looks like you've got walls and walls of food and supplies. Someone would have used this space as a literal bomb shelter, or was setting it up for what appears to be a bomb shelter. You don't see any sort of enemy creatures. It doesn't look dangerous, but there is no light inside there. So any light that you guys might need, which I don't think any of you necessarily need light, do you?
No, we
All
have
of-
dark vision, but
All dark vision
Yeah.
team.
So do you enter the bunker?
Yeah, Wampum will go down first.
Okay. Stepping down the steps, it'll creak, it'll moan. The sound of the mist kind of brushing past the opening seems to create a scream as the wind moves over. But you'll pass on in, and everything looks clear. Behind
Yeah,
the stairs,
Spooky.
you don't see any ghosts. Underneath the stairs, you will see a set of bunk beds, all lined up against the wall near the section that should be the little actual shop where you bought the magical items. They're all just bunk beds lined against the wall.
She looked to be safe. I think everybody come down.
okay, I'll head down.
Allie will head down.
So you roll in a safe space. Unfortunately, it's not even been it's been maybe an hour or two since your last long rest, so you can't gain the benefits of a long rest, but you certainly can rest here safely.
Okay. Yeah, let's just
Short
rest
rest.
for a few minutes and roll some hit dice.
Before we take this, are we gonna do an hour?
At least, probably.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and do my second wind before we take a short rest.
Sounds good.
What do I get?
So, as a reminder, Kale, since
Yes.
you're attuned to the periaptive wound closure,
Double
your
health,
hit
right?
dice are doubled. Yep. So you guys stitch up your wounds, you relax, you take a breather, you have some of the food that's in here. It is material plane food. From what it looks like by the food, the rations, and the things that have been set up here, someone from the material plane was setting up a bunker in this space. And supplies had been put in here.
Does it look like someone's been down here fairly recently? Like, is there dust on everything, or?
Everything's covered in dust. So you can at least guess with your passive abilities that it's been at least a 10-day, maybe 2 10 days since anyone has been down here.
We're all pretty well traveled. Do we get a sense of where these supplies might have originated from?
They don't... yeah.
Like Neverwinter's finest brew or Silvery
It
Moon
doesn't
ketchup?
necessarily seem like there are any brand names. There's no Thunderbelly Ale, unfortunately. You've
That's what
seen
I'm talking about.
foods and provisions like this before. Most major cities have this sort of equipment easily on hand. Certainly, Everland definitely does. Silver Moon definitely does. You'll recognize some of the foods and things to be what you ate at the Silvery Moon locations. But,
Bananas.
Yeah, bananas. Lots of bananas.
Kiwis.
Rotten bananas, obviously.
God. Yeah, I guess I would want to look around for any sort of indication. Like, is there anything other than food and beds down here? Like, are there any other items that might indicate who left their crap here?
Roll an investigation check.
Absolutely, I will do that. Yeah, with my lucky rock. That would be 24.
Okay. Looking about the place, you start not just looking at the surface, you start looking to see if you can find any hidden caches, any spaces where things would have been hidden.
Yeah.
And you do actually manage to stumble across a loose piece of slab of stone on the floor off in the corner. So you lift it up. Inside, there appears to be a map and a bunch of papers. Briefly pulling them out, the map seems to be of the city of Neverwinter, but different.
Careful, Kale. There might be a snake in there or something.
Or ghosts might appear.
Ghost snakes.
Map, oh Jesus. Ghost snakes. So there's a map of Neverwinter.
Not a map of... Okay, yeah. Map of what looks like Neverwinter, but judging by it, it's clearly not.
Neverwinter-ish looking thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. What was on the other papers?
The other papers seem to indicate plans, building a list of supplies and requirements. With your intelligence, you could see that someone was planning to use their knowledge and supplies to get into this Neverwinter-esque place.
Okay. And
Look, steal something, but you can't tell what it was. Probably something big, though.
So can I tell maybe like by examining the way the words were written, like all the notes and the maps and stuff, what sort of person, like maybe what species of person wrote it? Probably.
Intelligence, just straight up intelligence.
You got it. Hold on, that. Ah, man. I can do this. Hold on. I can do this. Get it.
How
It's a
hard is
19.
it to throw a dice? Okay. 19. So,
Come here, you son of a bitch. Sorry.
you there?
Yep.
Good. Okay. All right. It would appear from what you can guess by the way this person is writing, this is probably the mastermind behind a job. This is the kind of person that thinks very meticulously about every single aspect of a heist, specifically. Someone had the intention to break into the city of Evernight, which is the Shadowfell version of Neverwinter, for some very specific reason. Doesn't say what they were after, only said that what they needed was enough food to cover the travel across the Shadowfell. They needed climbing equipment, and they needed a lot of holy water.
Yeah, that would be extremely helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, and I mean, most of the thing that I was trying to get at was like, is it written in a way, like, is it in common?
It's in common.
Okay.
You can assume it's probably one of the, and I hate to say it like this, but more finesse-like races. So human, elf, half-elf, that sort of spectrum of things.
Right. So it looks kind of like Elvish script a little bit.
Yeah.
Just like okay.
Curly letters, you know.
Yeah.
They wrote in cursive.
Yeah.
The
They
eyes
were
are
a
dotted with
monster.
hearts.
Mm-hmm. T's
Okay.
are crossed just with a slight slant.
Mm-hmm.
So that pillar of light in the sky, I wanted to let everyone know that I do have the ability to cast flight, which would allow two folks to fly. And then obviously I can't concentrate on it for overly long, but once those two have reached the plateau, I can cast it again and give two more people flight. So I do have the means to get everyone up if that was something we were interested in doing in the future.
Perhaps. Might be a good idea for us to get closer to it first to minimize the amount of time that we're, spread out, split up.
Right.
Yep. Also, I found this map, you guys, and all these notes. I just found some evidence on the intrepid explorer, I suppose, who set this place up. They were trying to get to the Shadowfell version of Neverwinter. So I'm not entirely clear on why. I guess they wanted to get something from there. Did get a name, but just some interesting info that I'm going to put in my book. I don't know if you guys care.
Allie's sitting on one of the beds, just rummaging through her backpack, idly, like, playing with whatever trinkets she's bought. Doesn't really talk.
So how does everybody feel? Is everybody okay?
Nos is in the corner staring at a wall, and she's pulled out her personal bottle of rum, and she's already downed about half of it.
Which is a red flag moment. Everyone sees this is a red flag moment.
Hey, Wampum. Is that... He'll point at Nos and be like, is that normal? Is that...
No.
Maybe you want to talk to her a little bit?
Yeah, I'm just determining what to say.
Okay. Well, leave that up to you, I guess.
Okay. Wampum will walk over and sit down next to Lost. Can I have some of that?
Yeah, sure.
So he'll take a swig, hand it back.
What up?
You looking kind of sideways. You all right?
I think that's reasonable, don't you?
Well, you didn't get angry at that last fight like I've seen you normally.
How are we gonna keep these guys alive?
We can do this.
What? How do we keep from happening? Kale and Lafcadio going down all the time. What are we supposed to do?
Hit harder, hit quicker.
I'm trying. I'm trying so hard. I'm tired.
I think we all be a little tired. But I've seen ye. Ye can take 10 down. I trust ye. You just got to. I think you're starting a little.
You can trust me because you can take care of yourself.
Yeah, but I think you starting to second guess yourself.
Which I think is reasonable, given the circumstances.
Understand, but in this place here, second guessing just might be a little dangerous.
Well, I can't exactly stop feeling.
Yeah.
It's the logical part of my brain is fighting with everything else right now. The only thing that is, I guess, I don't want to say keeping me going, because I'm keeping me going. But good friend of mine back in Westgate, he said, if you don't like something, change it in your favor. And I cannot find a way to change what's happening here.
So what you thinking? What you feeling? Why are you second guessing yourself?
I don't know. I just, the world's full of heroes. Are we the right ones to be trying to do this interplanar hubbubaloo? I mean, I'm sure that there are much stronger people out there that are just sitting on their butts.
But you just said it, sitting on the butts.
Because they don't know about it.
Well, I think Morden put me in this place for a reason. And I'm sure Timora put you here too. I think he just need to think and let Timora guide your swings.
Okay.
You've done it before. You can do it again. I seen you, me girl. You's tougher than you giving yourself credit.
You're a nice old man.
Just don't let that out.
You do it to yourself. Although I will say that the additional armor bits are certainly helping dissuade that.
Pretty good, don't they?
Yeah, you look fly as hells. You're almost comparable to my getup.
Almost. Well, I guess I could take almost.
After hearing a rousing conversation, and that was very well done from Wampum, Nos, roll another wisdom saving throw. At disadvantage, but still.
9.
Okay. Still under the effects.
That's why I said, okay, old man.
All right. So what do you guys do from here on out?
So everybody, Kill the ground, you notice pretty much everybody except Wampum is like visibly being a huge bummer. I'm gonna in character and out of character, I'm gonna take a stab in the dark here, since we're in the Shadowfell. And he's gonna just kind of get into the middle of the room, and he's gonna wave a hand and cast the calm emotion spell to make everybody just feel better. Hopefully.
So each humanoid in a 20-foot radius sphere centered on a point you choose, you make sure everyone is incorporated in it, must make a charisma saving throw. A creature can choose to fail this save if it wishes. So, do you explain what you're doing enough to everyone to give them reason to want to willfully fail?
Sure. He'll get in the middle of everybody and say, you might feel something when I do this. I'm just trying to pick up everybody's spirits. Just trying to make everybody feel a little bit better, maybe. Hopefully.
Be careful, mate. I've heard that magic works differently in different places. Are you sure this is safe?
I don't see how it could really harm you, even if it went wrong.
All right.
You'll be fine.
Allie just kind of unfurls her wings and kind of cocoons herself on the bed.
Okay. Who of you chooses to fail?
Yeah, I'll fail. I don't care.
Okay.
Sure.
So, thankfully, in this situation, choosing to fail is a good thing, as the calm emotions spell waves over Lafcadio and Nos, and it removes.
Oh my god! Yes.
The ill effects that were placed upon you. So you guys are now clear of that. It's not the effect on you may come back at some time. Like you may have another situation where you might get hit again. But for now, you guys are completely clear of any sort of issue.
I was drinking to drown my sorrow, and now I am drinking to celebrate.
There you go.
And I rolled a 7.
Great.
Great.
You are a failure. So does everybody? Did that help at all?
All
Yes.
right, mate.
This is good stuff. This is good stuff.
Good.
Oh.
Well, I'm glad to know that works. Let me just add that to my book.
That's me, girl. I was missing you for a little while.
I feel like sunshine all over me.
Wow. Good.
Well, you know, if you've been inside all day and then you step out into the sunlight for the first time in a long time, that's the way this feels.
Good. Well, I'm glad I could help. Physically, also, how's everybody feeling now? Great. Wonderful.
I could be feeling a lot better, to tell you the truth.
Oh no, I think Allie was petrified.
No. The Shadowfell got her.
Well,
As it does to everyone.
I'm sure she's fine. The rest of us can discuss what our next step might be.
Mm-hmm.
So, how far away would we guess that pillar of light is? Just if we don't go up, if we just go straight beneath it.
If you were to go straight beneath the city, this city is in motion. The citadel that's flying is in motion around the area. When you last saw it, it was, I would say, about 5 miles away. So a bit of distance, bit of a trek to get to. But its motion was slow enough that if you were to get to it, you would be able to keep up with it.
Okay.
Should we go chase that thing?
Yeah, that would be, in my mind, that's probably our priority, yes.
Well, us dwarves are natural-born sprinters.
Well, I think this is actually going to be more of a long-distance thing.
We're even better at that.
Oh, fantastic.
Well, that's good.
I think I can call upon my powers from Nabanian to give myself some more healing, but sometimes it's better that I do that in more situations where time is more critical. Is there anything that Tamora or Dania have that could be more put to use in this type of situation?
Tamora brought you diamonds. So there's that. Those say she didn't give you none.
He says he's got a boo-boo. He needs fixing.
And I don't have anything.
I didn't really commit any strong healing spells to memory. They're kind of more for emergency situations.
All right, well, I'll use my emergency situation instead then. I just wanted to clarify that was the only option.
So what is your emergency situation?
My healing light
Okay, fair enough.
for 11 more HPs.
All right. So,
Yeah. Yep.
is that what you guys are going to do now? After you've rested for a moment, leave the bunker and start chasing after the floating citadel?
How did we find the crystal shard thingy the first time?
Pimbly Nimblebottom
Ticklebot.
took us to it.
A what?
Uh,
A satyr.
yes, a
Named
satyr took
Ticklebottom.
us. We had a guide.
Yeah.
I don't know that we'll be able to find anybody quite so amenable to guiding visitors through the Shadowfell.
Well, maybe if they don't like change.
Maybe we'll find a portal to the Feywild in the Shadowfell.
That would be great. Oh, hey, so the thing that was affecting me before, Teo, being in the Shadowfell was like really bad for me in particular. Or being near the crystal when we were in the Feywild. Is that the problem?
Not affecting you at all.
Okay.
So
Okay.
my question is, if we do find someone, should we attempt to converse with them diplomatically first to see if they are willing to be a guide before we attempt to kill them
Couldn't hurt.
again?
Yeah, we can always attempt to do so, though. Just be forewarned. Things in their Shadowfell probably won't. It's not going to go well, but we can try, certainly.
And I will try not to touch anything.
Please, yes, that.
Okay. So, tracking this city, following it as best as you can, requires no small amount of active tracking skills. Following it as it's moving slightly. So someone in the group needs to use survival at advantage because you guys are helping each other and working together. I hope you're working together.
I do have a bonus for survival.
Okay.
And I'll let you touch my lucky rock for guidance.
Okay. So that would be another D4 on top of that, correct?
Correct.
Mm-hmm. It looks like you rolled a D10 though.
Yeah, it looks like in Roll20 you rolled a D10. You should have rolled a D20.
Oh. 2d20 because you're at advantage.
Yep.
Roll 1. I still roll. All right, something screwed up here.
Okay, your modifier is +3.
Yep,
right?
Yep. I'm trying
Okay.
to roll it. I'm trying to re-roll a D20, and all of a sudden it's rolling a.
D8.
It's rolling a D10.
Okay, you're in Roll20, correct?
Yes. Hold on. I'm going to fix that right now.
Okay.
And save changes. And there we go. Huh.
That's a 2.
Okay, now do it again because you have advantage.
Okay.
And oh wait.
Roll the D20.
Yep.
Okay. And then you get the extra 1 for the guidance, which you've already rolled. You've already rolled the D4. So that puts you at a 13.
Gotcha.
With advantage. Okay. You lead them through the area. There are a few points where you have to stop because the mist kind of separates and it produces a ruin suddenly out of nowhere that just blocks your path. You have to backtrack and move around. It's almost, you get the sense that the Shadowfell itself is actively trying to slow you down, to stop you from doing what you're doing. As you get closer and closer to the citadel, it is still moving away, but you're catching up with it. But perception checks all around, please.
All around.
Roll. Is that 5?
15.
22.
26.
17.
Okay. Everyone except for Nos manages to notice that out of the darkness comes a single individual. A tired, old male dressed in robes that seem a little white, yellowy kind of cloth, just stepping out of the mist, approaching your group. As he reaches you, he pulls back his hood. That's Kale? But you've got Kale here, but that's Kale there. Kale has just walked up to Kale. And he's walked up to the group. At which point Nos catches sight and sees him now that the hood is draped closed.
Allie, how close is Allie standing to Kale?
As close as you want to be. I mean,
Kale, how many pockets do you have? Do you have any like open pockets or anything? Or on your robes or anything?
He's just got the 2 pant pockets and then
does
the
he have like a
backpack
traveler's pack? Okay.
and
Are there any like spots in your backpack that are open like with a flap that someone could easily like Allie is gonna quickly. Should I make a sleight of hand check to slip an item, a trinket from that she was holding into his backpack?
Sure. Roll a sleight of hand check. If you're trying to hide it from everyone.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, maybe not hide it from everyone. She's just trying to hide it from the new coming Kale.
Okay.
And that
Okay.
would be a 17 total.
Okay. What's your perception modifier? What's your passive perception, Kale?
Mine 16.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Wisdom is not your key skill, is it?
Mine?
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's mine.
Okay. Hypothetically speaking, if you were level 20, would your wisdom be higher than it is right now?
Not unless I had a magic item.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
There is that
Right.
book back in somewhere.
Yeah, I remember. I know what you're talking about.
Tome of Understanding, but nope.
Yartok.
All right. Cool. Then you slip the little trinket into Kale's pack. You notice that the Kale that just approached you doesn't seem to be holding any sort of pack.
Okay.
It has been a very, very long time since I've seen all of you.
I draw my hand crossbow and I put it to his face.
Whoa. You don't have to put it in his face. Just
Well, what happened to us?
Well, Kale, do you have a moment? Would you mind if we just talk for a second? Privately. Delicate situation here.
outside of earshot, but inside of view. Yes.
Absolutely.
I'm
Absolutely.
not liking this idea, Mr. Kale.
It's don't.
It don't
It'll
work.
be fine.
It'll be fine. All right.
Sure.
So you step off with this counterpart to you. Immediately, you yourself, you notice there is a serious age difference between the two of you. Your elven nature does seem to help you out a little bit, but he is definitely a lot older than you are.
Can I stay 60 feet? Or is that 60 feet in range? Or is
Yeah.
that too close to them?
No, that's fine. He just kind of wants to move off quite far enough that it, like, the conversation is just between the two of you. So, gotta try and remember this conversation properly. I was in the situation you're now in 60 years ago. Does that
Okay.
make sense?
I mean-
60 years ago, I remember having a conversation with myself here.
Okay. I mean, yeah, that the idea makes sense. I don't understand why that would be happening.
Yes. Something went wrong. I can't quite tell what it was. The place is locked. Some sort of magic within that citadel. Just... It caused us to stay. We couldn't leave.
Where's everyone else?
They all died.
I would like to insight check this guy.
Go ahead.
$21.
You believe him. It seems fairly honest. I mean, it seems like yourself. I'm trying to do as best of you as I can, but obviously I'm going to make mistakes, but he is not making mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. There was... we followed the path. We got into the citadel, but it was a trap. There was a Dracolich waiting for us. Killed all of them.
Okay.
I'm
How
just
did you
warning.
escape?
I became the dragon's... I talked to the dragon for a while. For a long, long while.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just here to make sure that you understand to be very careful while you're up there about what choices you make.
So I don't understand how there's a loop here. Do you have any idea?
I don't. I can't say much more because I don't remember the conversation expanding much more. It doesn't make sense. It's a weird situation, but this is the last time I will see you and your crew. Be very careful in there.
How have you survived here for so long?
I made new friends. People that I needed to use for a time.
I would like to read my thoughts.
Okay. So
It's a whiz save.
Yeah, it's a wisdom save.
Yeah.
Which trying to think of what. Okay. What is your wisdom save modifier? Like, what is your
17.
17? Okay. So that's a 37.
Great. So you rolled a 20. That's nice.
Yeah.
Okay, I got nothing. So you use what sort of friends? What are the names of these friends? Tell me everything. I need to know everything. Do you still have the book?
Yes, I do. And he pulls out your book, but it's 60 years older. It's more tattered, it's torn, it's broken.
Okay.
There is more pages in it.
Can I look through that? I imagine you've been keeping notes. Why wouldn't you?
Yes, I have been meticulously keeping these notes. Roll. He's going to hand you the book.
Okay.
Roll an investigation check.
Absolutely, I will do that. Yep, up. Oh my goodness gracious. It's a lot. It's so much. It's 38.
How?
Well, can I guidance it? I was just guidancing it automatically.
Okay. So I'm curious as to how you got up to 38. What is the...
So I rolled a 20, and then I got plus 14. So that's 34 plus 4 on my thing, my D4. So that's 38.
Okay, so it was a perfect roll. All right, fair
Yes.
Okay. You look, and the book's pages seem to dance about for a bit, and then your eyes just look through them. The book is an illusion.
Okay. I hand the book back.
Okay.
And I say, "This is an illusion. This isn't real. Do you not have the book anymore?" Or?
No, I do. The Shadowfell is messing with your mind. You must try to keep hold of your senses. You must focus. I had to make some promises and some deals that I know I'm going to regret once I finally make it back to the material plane. You don't have to make the same mistakes as me.
What's the nature of these deals and promises?
I'm afraid you would be ashamed of me if I actually told you them.
Well, I'd rather know so that I don't. You can tell me that I shouldn't make the mistakes that you made, but if you don't tell me what those mistakes were, then how am I to avoid them?
I made these deals to fix the mistakes that I made to begin with. If you do everything right, you won't ever have to deal with the dark powers that control the Shadowfell.
Well, then in your mind, what are the right steps that I should take? You're pretty smart, right? So you
Well,
should. You've had a lot of time
smart, so
You've had a lot of time to think about it. 60 years, I imagine. So what?
Yes.
I'm sure you've played over the events in your mind countless times, and you must have some sort of solid idea of a great path of action for me and the group to take.
This is what I think we did wrong the first time around.
Mm-hmm.
I've played it through my mind over and over again. We got into the Citadel. We snuck past all of its defenses. We managed to make it to the bowels of the city. We got to where the crystal is. And then Wampum destroyed the crystal. But the way in which he destroyed it caused his body to be taken over. He became evil. He summoned the Dracolich. It then killed Nos. Ali ran away. Lafcadio fought on for as long as he could, and he gave me the help I needed to be able to get out of there. I talked and I did what I could, but I believe Wampum destroying the crystal broke him, and that's where we went wrong. Don't let him destroy the crystal.
Let's see.
Would Kale have caught the fallacy of him saying everyone is dead and then saying Allie ran away? Or is...
Yeah, I was thinking about that, but he will keep that to himself. All right. So your suggestion is to take all of the same actions, except don't let Wampum break the crystal.
Yes. In the end, don't let Wampum be the one to destroy the crystal.
Okay. Did the Stracolich have a name?
He gave me some name, but I don't believe it was his true name.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't find myself with any additional power over him. The name he gave me was Sephrira. As in Sephira, but with an R in the middle. Sephrira. Rira. Yeah.
Okay. And have you you've been here a long time. Have you visited Evernight at all?
No. I've been focused around here. I've had to. I've been here.
Okay. Have you met anybody else or run into anybody else from the material plane in all the time you've been here?
There have been people that have come by. There have been people that have done so. But I need to go.
Where? Why? What do you have to do? Maybe we can help you.
I made a pact with a vampire.
Okay.
And I need to get back. For your sake, go. But do it right this time.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. You'll hear the sound of howling coming from the distance.
Is he gonna? He's gonna like try and walk away or something.
He looks very agitated, very scared right now. As soon as he hears the howling and the noises in the distance, he's very scared.
Okay. Could you? I need you to spare a few moments to just talk to the rest of the group, maybe.
You need to run. There are things coming here that you need to get away from. You don't have the time.
I think we have the time. And if there's things coming, obviously you can help us defeat them. I want to make sure that the others don't have any other questions for you, as it's kind of I don't want it to be a missed opportunity for them. You know.
Okay. Oh, all right. I tried to stop it, but okay.
Great.
He will approach and get a little bit closer. What can I do for you?
So this gentleman, just to explain, says that claims that he's me and that the rest of you died 60 years ago when we encountered a Draco Lich in the Citadel. That's about it. He told me not to let you, he says, pointing at wampum, break the crystal, and that he's made pacts with vampires and something else over the course of the last 60 years he's been here so that he can leave. And part of that pact involved telling us the things that he just told us. So does anybody else have any questions for him?
What did I put in your pack?
The DM and Kale don't actually know. So
Okay.
What did you put in his pack?
Allie put a small ring that she had picked up prior to meeting any of the group
Okay.
in her travels.
Then Kale, roll a wisdom saving throw.
Okie dokie. I rolled an 18, so it's 28.
28. It doesn't matter what you put in my pack all those years ago.
Can I do an insight check?
Go ahead.
Because I feel like Kale would. That's a 27.
Yeesh.
He seems off, but he's also very scared.
Agitated. Yeah.
I
Very
got
agitated.
a solution to figure out whether or not this is actually Kale.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna step beside him and then I'm gonna whack him in the back of the head.
You're going to whack this guy in the back of the head?
Yeah, just real quick, like boop.
Okay. Fair enough.
Again, not enough to do damage.
You hit him. Oh. Ow.
That's it.
What
Ow.
was... Don't hit me. What was that? What was that for?
She's just making sure you awake.
Very, very disappointed scowl.
Kale mate, are you sure this is the real you from, I'm guessing, the future? Or are we in the future? And
Oh, no, I don't believe him at all. I
Me
just wanted to
neither.
give you guys an opportunity.
Kale, if I'd put something in your backpack, would you have written it down and remembered if I'd died?
I mean, depends on what it is, I suppose.
As he's obviously scared, freaking out, the howling gets louder. You wanted to stick around and keep talking. You didn't run. A group of werewolves come charging out of the mist. I'd like everyone to roll for initiative.
Cool. +3. Shit, what oh, there it is. Excuse me, pardon me.
Yeah. That's why you couldn't put yourselves on the initiative tracker. You weren't actually on the right map. All right. So I have a 17 from Nos. Let me add her in.
Wampum has a 27.
I have a 19.
Wampum from Ali. Not Wampum. What? 19 from Ali.
I have a 17 also.
17. Ooh. One better than your counterpart.
14 for Lafcadio.
Got it. 14. Okay. 14, did you say?
Yep.
Okay.
So how
Very
many
quick.
hit dice should I have gotten from a short rest? Was it 1?
That's how many, like, it's up to you how many you expend, but you don't
Oh,
get
okay.
dice back.
Right.
Yeah. You only get hit dice back after a long rest.
So I guess we're positioning ourselves now.
Reposition yourselves anywhere within about 15 feet of where you are, as these werewolves come in from the east.
Are those walls actually there? And is that where other Kale's going to stay?
Yes, and yes. All right, I believe we have everyone in here. So, top of the round with the whopping 27, Wampum. What are you going to do as these creatures come clawing their way out of the mist, howling at you?
Wampum is going to go to there.
Yep.
And throw at the first wolf.
Go ahead and throw.
Going to be a 21.
That'll hit.
And I want to no, not this time, no. That's going to be a 19 points of damage.
Okay.
And
Anything
then,
else?
Yeah, my second attack, I will be using a for another 21.
Okay.
I'll be using a dice as well for that's 15 points of damage plus a D8. For that's only another 1, but the next attack on that particular individual has advantage from a distracting strike.
Yep. Anything else?
I'm going to action surge.
Everything else.
For a 26 to hit.
Hits.
For 14 points of damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this attack, I'm going to also use a menacing attack.
Okay. You need to roll to hit first.
Yes. Well, then I'm not going to use a menacing attack. I'm going to roll another D8 to see if I can, because I don't think that's going to hit. So 4 on top of that's going to be a 17.
Okay, that hits.
For 13 points of damage.
Okay. That werewolf dies.
That's all it took, huh?
Woo.
That's all it took. Just
Why?
Wampum.
And then that was my... Wampum is now done. He's staying right where he's at.
Heaven forbid Wampum gets 3 attacks per action.
It's coming.
Yep. All right. I believe that is Allie up next.
Allie's gonna let her wings unfurl, and are any of the werewolves armed with any ranged weapons that I can see?
Nope.
Perfect. I'm gonna fly up 25 feet, and then 5 feet over there. And I will fire a... Can I withhold my action until one of them comes within 5 feet of Wampum?
Sure.
Okay. So when one of them comes within 5 feet of Wampum, I'm going to fire the crossbow at him.
Okay. Just remember that this is you readying to use your reaction to attack them. Okay?
Okay. And would I
It's-
still get the sneak attack once they reach within 5 feet?
Yes, you will, but you won't be able to do multiple attacks.
That's fine.
Attack. Okay. Nos.
I am going to heavily stomp until I get right beside Wampum. And
Okay.
as I rage, I exhale strongly through my nose, which causes the mist to swirl like I'm snorting smoke. And I hold my glaive out prepared for the onslaught.
Okay. Real Kale.
First Kale's gonna bang on his shield and toll the dead this hairy beast right here that I pinged. You saw it.
Okay,
Everybody
yep.
saw it.
I saw it.
So that's a
I saw you.
DC 17 wisdom save.
All right.
Takes
That's a 19, I'm afraid.
son of a bitch. Okay. I wanted to roll my 2d12s. And then he's going to cast Sanctuary on himself. And
Well, that guy hadn't been hit.
oh, yeah, it would have been 2d8s. That's my
Yeah.
bad. But whatever. So he'll cast Sanctuary on himself and run away.
Okay.
Right here.
Fair enough. Then, fake Kale is going to cast Toll the Dead. It's going to save. He's going to cast Sanctuary and run away.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We have a werewolf that is going to use its full movement, dashing. It has its goal in mind. Lafcadio, what are you doing?
This wall here is a physical wall with height.
Only about 3 foot. These ruins are small enough that people can climb over without difficulty.
Okay, well then I will create a wall of fire, and I will do that through the werewolves that are still in a line-ish.
Okay. How long is the wall?
60 feet.
Okay. So we got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 40, 60. So, like that.
Well, I'd like to do a slant, and a slant.
Okay. So the different panels that you'd be creating.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want them all to be in it, and the hot side to be facing Wampum and Nos. So if we could use Theater of the Mind, you don't have to break it up if you don't want to. But if we agree with that.
It's fine. I'm just looking at the actual wall of fire spell. It says you can create a wall up to 60 foot long, 20 foot high, and 1 foot thick, or a ringed wall up to 20 feet in diameter. It doesn't seem like the other spells, like Wall of Force, or I think it is, that specifically states you can create 10-foot panels. This seems your two options with Wall of Fire are a 60-foot line or a ring.
Okay, well then I will center the wall of fire on the back row of those two.
Okay. Cool. Anything else from you?
So when the wall appears,
Mm-hmm.
those two wolves have to make dex saves, DC 18.
Yep. Okay. Would you like it positioned in such a way that all 4 wolves are in it when it's cast?
Can I?
Yeah, so you can have it kind of overlapping both lines, so all 4 of them can be affected by it.
Let's do it.
All right. So dexterity saves. I have a 21, a 12, an 8, and a 19.
21 and 19 save. The other two.
Okay. So the top and bottom save, the other two don't. On a fail, they take 24 points of damage, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And 12 on a success.
Fair enough. Anything else from you?
That's it.
All right. And then at the start of their turns, they have to make the save again, right? If they start within 10 feet of the wall?
If they end their turn.
Oh, end the turn. Fair
Within
enough.
10 feet, yeah.
Okay. Well, we have the bottommost wolf is going to run to there, jumping over the wall, and then dash to to there. We have another that will do a similar sort of thing. And another. All making sure, it's pretty clear by now, as all of these wolves are running for other Kale, that they're avoiding all of you. We are back up to Wampum.
All right, Wampum is going to move. What they running away for?
Smack me! Quickly!
As he moves past Nos, he's going to take his little
Spike.
spike on it and just poke her in the butt real quick.
Ow! Thank you!
Okay. You deal 1 plus your 1d4 plus your strength modifier damage with these spikes.
So that is going to be, of course, it's a 4.
All right. So you take 8
it's going to be 9
points halved down. Because what is your 9 because of yours? It's plus 5, right? So 9 halved down to 4. Okay. Anything else from you, Wampum? As you give her a little
Wampum
tap.
is going to go to here.
Okay.
And then attack.
Which one are you attacking?
The one that is right between the 2 Kales.
Okay. So this nice little
Yes.
nest of werewolves. You're aiming for the bottom one. Throw that hammer. What do you got?
I got a 27 to hit
That's going to hit.
for 14 points of damage. And
All right.
I want it to make a wisdom save, DC 17.
Okay. It rolls a 9.
So if it can be, it is frightened of me.
Okay. Anything else?
And my second attack, same one. Oh, nat 20.
That's certainly going to hit. Go ahead and roll the damage.
Kill.
26 points of damage.
That's a powerful swing, but not quite enough to kill.
And then I am done.
All right. Allie.
All right, Allie is going to fly and land right here.
Okay.
And she is going to stab with her dagger.
Okay.
And that would be... That's the dagger plus 1.
Yep.
That would be a 15 to hit.
That will hit.
All right, and that is a sneak attack because I have non-incapacitated allies nearby.
Yep.
All right, let me roll my non-sneak attack dice first. That would be... Oh, that's 1d4, right? All right. That would be 3 plus 5, so 8 damage from the regular attack, and then 11, 15, 16, 17 damage for the sneak attack.
All right. Just like all of the others, as the blade sinks in, this werewolf dies. Now, when a werewolf dies, he reverts to his humanoid form. So you watch as this person actually seems to shift and change into a young child.
Oh, okay.
Probably about a 13-year-old. Anything else from you, Ali? Oh, no, I think we've lost Ali. Yes, human.
Okay.
Yep. I think we've lost Ali.
Petrified again.
Terrible. In the meantime, Nos, what would you do?
I run in to offer aid, and then I see the childlike body, and I'm confused and conflicted because Normally that would just be like, heckin' no, but this is a Shadowfell, and I have been intimately informed that this place messes with your head on a scale like no other. So she's like halfway not gonna actually believe that that's a child. And she's gonna attack the one that's to fake Kale's right.
Oh, sorry about that. What was that reveal?
Just that the werewolf turned into a child as you killed it.
Oh. Well.
There you go.
School of Hard Knocks, kid. And then I will fire a crossbow at the leg of the werewolf in front of me, so to the left of fake Kale.
Okay.
Or alternate Kale.
All right.
And that would be a 13 plus 8, so 21.
Yep.
And I hit.
Yep.
Dealing 5 damage.
Okay. The crossbow is not magical, right?
Well, the crossbow is, but the arrows or quarrels aren't, so.
The crossbow is magical.
Yeah, it's a crossbow of warding. Or
Okay.
hand crossbow, yeah.
All right. Cool. All right. Nos, you were saying?
Making the attacks. Let's see. Maybe I can still do it non-lethally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe. We'll see what happens. That is a 15.
That's going to hit.
Yay! I mean, what? 15 slashing.
Okay.
6 radiant for Divine Fury. That is lethal no matter what I do. And then again, that's a critical.
Yeah, keep doing that.
It's a 17 slashing.
Okay.
And
So,
then,
was that one also non-lethal?
it's if you'll allow it.
You need to describe to me how you non-lethally critically stab this werewolf. Because it's going to die, otherwise.
And specifically, it must be a stab.
No, slash, actually. So, slashing damage, so.
Okay. What if I... Well...
Can she slash with the flat of the blade?
That's what I usually go to.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I can hit a... Oh, I know. I'll hit a pressure point.
Okay.
I'll get him in the throat so that it breaks his airway. It didn't break it, but it cuts off his airway and it makes him hyperventilate and fall down. Lose consciousness.
And he does with that. As he loses consciousness, he shifts down into humanoid form. This time it looks to be a cat-like creature. It's a tabaxi.
I'm so confused.
Yep.
I'm going to move in, though, and take my half attack on the one that's on the far side.
Okay.
19.
That's going to hit.
11 points.
Okay. Anything else from you?
Nope.
Real Kale.
Gonna go. So you said these walls are here, right?
Yeah, but they're tiny. They're not really that high.
Okay. I'm just gonna go away from all this. And that's. Can I attempt to hide? Is that a thing I can try and do? Somehow?
Yes, you can. If you use your action, you can hug the wall, crouch down, really try to hide. Go ahead and roll a stealth check.
I'm gonna do it. I'm doing it. Where's my other D20? Give me another D20. This one.
You can have one of mine.
I'm good. I rolled a 12.
Okay. You think you're hidden.
All right.
All right. Fake Kale is going to call you a coward for running away. And then is going to toll the dead on the injured one north of him. Wisdom save, which it fails, so it does take
2d12.
If the person happens to be a much higher level, how much damage do they actually take?
Like what level? 20?
Like, yeah.
I think it's. Wait, hold on. I can do this. I can figure this out. Spirit of Dying. Or that's the wrong thing. Total dead. 40, 12. 40, 12.
40, 12. Okay.
Spirit of Dying.
All right. 27 points of radiant damage on the werewolf, which is going to kill that one. And as that one dies,
Necrotic damage.
Necrotic, yeah, fair enough. Sorry. Necrotic damage.
I wasn't sure
as
they
that
existed.
As that werewolf dies, it reforms into humanoid form. Looks like a little dwarf child.
We're fighting our past versions.
Right. That's him done.
Who was the tabaxi? Oh, yeah. We have
Lafcadio?
I'm an idiot.
Fair enough. We have a werewolf that's going to approach him and is going to bite this guy.
That's within my melee range.
Yes, he would have entered your melee range.
Yes, he would have.
Would you like to use your reaction to hit him?
I would.
Okay.
It's 20.
That's going to hit.
That's 13 with the damages.
That's going to hurt. He's going to keep running past, though. His quarry is in front of him. He's going to bite. That is a 21 to hit Fake Kale. Fake Kale takes 6 points of piercing damage. What's your constitution modifier?
0.
Yeah, okay. Thought so. Fake Kale fails the con save and gets cursed with lycanthropy. That's
Unless
good.
he's got the magic rock, in which case it's 1. Because the magic rock adds 1 to
It's a
save.
plus 1. Yeah. Okay. No, it's an 11 on DC 12 check, so unfortunately not. All right, then claw attacks. Those both miss. Lafcadio, what would you like to do?
So I'm gonna start running towards where I believe all the fighting is going on, and I'll passively perceive Kale. What's going on, mate? What are you doing here?
You got disadvantage on perceiving me because I got Elven Cloak on.
Oh.
So I don't know how that affects passive.
Minus 5, so...
-5 on the passive.
Oh, I wouldn't know. I'll run right by you. Well, that's a weirdly shaped rock. And I'll use my feline agility to get more distances. And I will use my whip and attack this werewolf twice.
Okay. Crack that whip.
20 and 29
Both will hit.
for 10 and 9 slashing. This is my improved packed whip, so it's
Yep.
magical damage. And I'll pull out my crossbow for a bonus action shot
Okay.
for a 13.
Still hits.
That is not a magical item, so 10 mundane piercing.
Okay. In which case, it has no effect on it. Anything
Right.
else?
That's it.
Okay. Well, we have a werewolf that is going to keep hacking and slashing at their quarry, which will hit. Okay, Fake Kale is getting torn into. Like, okay, he's dead. All right. Fake Kale's not dead yet. The other werewolf. All right, Wampum. There are 2 werewolves still alive. All around you are the bodies of the humanoids that they have shifted back into.
Wampum will go to there.
What was the humanoid form of the first one we knocked down?
So the one that the first
Wampum,
one
yeah.
Wampum killed was quite far away, but you would have looks human, could be a half elf. You're not sure. All right.
For 11 points of damage, make me a DC 17 Wisdom save.
Absolutely. That's a nat 1.
All right, so he is frightened and
Of course
takes
he
an
is.
additional 2 points of damage.
Absolutely.
And then I am going to throw at the one behind Fake Kale.
Okay. Go ahead and roll.
That's a 27. I want
Okay.
him to also make a wisdom save.
That's a 16.
He fails as well. He's also frightened and takes 1 additional point of damage.
Okay.
And I am done.
All right. Ali.
Allie is going to walk up, and with her dagger, she's going to attempt to non-lethally bash the werewolf in the side of the face with the pommel of the dagger.
Okay.
And that would be a 16.
That'll hit.
All right. The 1d4 is a 4 plus 5, so 9. And
Okay.
then the sneak attack is 10, 12, 14, 15.
Okay. As you knock him out, his fur starts turning a little red as he shifts and changes into a little child.
Can I do a perception check to see if
for?
there's any... I want to see if it has any similarities with Nos.
Well, it's a hobgoblin, so quite a few. Looks like a child
Yeah.
hobgoblin. So,
Okay.
anything
Try
else?
to... I'm going to call out, try to knock the other one out! And then I will bonus action with my cunning action
Mhm.
to... Let's see. So I still have 25 feet of movement.
Yep.
I am going to cut off his escape if I scroll the right way. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And then I am going to attempt to hide behind that wall.
Okay. Nos, there's only one werewolf left.
15 to hit.
That's gonna hit.
16, and this is non-lethal as well. Depending on
Yep.
how many times I hit, what I'm actually going to try to do is like smack him in between the flats of the blades and just keep going back and forth like that.
Okay. Go ahead and hit him again.
23,
That's gonna hit.
14,
And as this one falls unconscious, reverts into a childlike form of Ali, a tiefling with wings. The wings, though, are broken.
Oh.
Yeah, they've been clipped. That is the last of the werewolves. As they fall, fake Kale stands up, covered and drenched in his own blood. The robes and cloaks that he was wearing, completely tattered and torn. Standing up with a voice that doesn't sound like Kale's. You're all going to die down here. And you're going to be the ones to kill yourselves. Know that.
I laugh.
Before he and all of the bodies of child versions of you fade away into mist.
Well, at least my conscience is clear.
Oh no, you removed me!
Oops.
Allie's gone.
Allie!
Ah!
All right. And with that, as the party deal with that issue, I actually need everyone to roll wisdom saves one more time.
Natural 1.
How about we don't?
Why? Why Lafcadia?
I'm just saying, if it's an option, why not take it?
I think not. The Shadowfell is trying to affect your minds.
3.
If it makes you feel better, Lafcadio, we both failed this time.
I got a 22.
Okay. All right.
Wampum used his Abominable and rolled a 12.
Oh, that's right. I have inspiration for some reason. I don't remember where I got it from, but I'm going to use it.
You know DM's inspiration is to be used prior to a...
Of course I knew
D20.
that, and I wouldn't have said it because I didn't say it.
All right. Go ahead and re-roll your wisdom save. Using up that DM's inspiration.
17.
All right. Did any of you roll below a 10? Allie?
I got a natural 1.
All right. Allie, go ahead and roll me a d6.
That'd be a 6.
Okay. Magnus. The character has disadvantage on all ability checks and saving throws that use intelligence, wisdom, or charisma, and gains the following flaw: I can't tell what's real anymore. And with that, we will end tonight's session. We will rejoin the adventure next week as we continue to explore the Shadowfell, to reach the Citadel. Clearly, someone is just messing with the party. And we will find out who and why next week on Half Rate Heroes. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everybody.
Good night.